Easy to say things you don't mean when you're at war. I'm just too tired to fight, but there's an end in sight. Wave the white flag, I'm yours tonight. 'Cause my heart can't take these heights. I need your love with me for life. I need your love, I need your love with me for life. Sorry it ended this way. Sorry it I need your love with me for life. I'm sorry it ended this way. I know I made all mistakes. I need your love with me for life. Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. 'Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect. Oh, yeah. But I know I can make it work. I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name. It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy. But I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. 'Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
Hi everyone. Hello. Hey. Hello. Yay. Happy what is it? I don't know. Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So, we got a lot of crap to talk about. Oh, there's my phone. I need to grab my phone real fast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, dear God, because I've been busy, with various things. So, okay. How's everyone doing? Who do we have here? Who do we have? Um I'm not dressed like a conformist, Macy. I'm dressed like a stylish guy, okay? Let me see who we got here. Yes, Outer Signal, I did get a fresh cut. Thank you for noticing, Outer Signal. Gotta put my bob up. Okay, thank you. So let's see here. Let's see who we have here today. We have Doug is here. Hello, Doug. Always glad to see you, Doug. Always very happy to see you. Hello, Doug. Hello, AMA. AMA is here. AMA always beating me over the head with a bat. Love it, AMA. Hello, AMA. Druzilla is here. Hello, Druzilla. Always a pleasure to see you here, Druzilla. Jazznaz, did someone tell that fat F he's going to be on the front line? Which one? Which one, Jazz? Oh, you mean Trump? Probably. Okay, I don't know. I suspect it was his donors who got mad. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun. Yeah, but good question there, Jazz. Hello, Weirdomorphous Blob. Welcome, Weirdomorphous Blob. Welcome. Weirdomorphous Blob, glad to have you here, given what we're going to talk about today. Okay, Alyssa. Hello, Alyssa. Always glad to see you, Alyssa. As always, hope things are going well. I know they probably are because we, we live in America, so that's probably why. Hello, Mithril. Mithril. Hello, Mithril. How are you doing, Mithril? How are things over there in the UK? What's the conversation like over there around Trump and such? Hello, Outer Signal, of course. Hello, Outer Signal. Okay. What was I going to say here? Sir Bartholomew. Hello, Sir Bartholomew. Time to peep the horror once more. As always, Sir Bartholomew, I can't. I love peeping the horror with all of you. That makes me sound like a predator of some sort, peeping. Anyway. Okay, hello. Jamil. Now, Jamil. I Jamil, you used to post an image of a goat, did you not? You used to post like an image of a K. Um, you used to post an image of a goat whenever you came into Jamil, a stream, Jamil. And I'm an old man, and literally last time we were in here, this is how much I think about these things, Jamil. You posted just the word goat in all caps, and I'm like, that at that point, Jamil, it finally clicked with me that whenever you posted an image of a goat, you meant greatest of all time. You meant like goat. And now I am embarrassed because this whole time I've been like, "Oh, I like your little goat there, Jamil," but I did not process with me what you were saying, but now I get it and I feel like a fool. So thank you, Jamil. Thank you for all. You should go back to posting your goat because that's very you, and I get it now. I get it now. I promise I'm not that foolish. Okay. Uh, let's see here. Elliot Waffles. Trump says he's not going to do something, is not backing down. His word is meaningless. Denmark has zero interest in selling Greenland, so clearly a military. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Elliot Waffles. I guess I should say he verbally backed down. I don't know if he actually will back down, but maybe I could change the stream title there. Let's see here. Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Hello, world. How are you doing, Victoria? SoCal, hello. It is not Taco Tuesday yet, Jazznaz. I'm still here, weirdly enough. If you know what I mean. Okay, didn't have to eat any carnitas, if you know what I mean. Okay. Maybe. All right. Jazznaz, hello, hello. Macy's here. I'm not a conformist, Macy. How dare you? Tomation! Glad to see you here, Tomation. Always glad to see you here. You always make me want to eat a tomato, though I don't really like tomatoes unless they're turned into a sauce. All right, that's great there. Richard P. Hello, Richard P. Glad to see you here. Louise is here. So eye candy took you clothes shopping. Oh, thank you for calling him eye candy. Yeah, actually, no. He does take me shopping though occasionally because he hates my clothing. Some of the best clothing I have are because of him. This one, weirdly enough, isn't. Anyway. Okay, I was muted. What did I miss? Nothing, Loiso, nothing. nothing of interest really yet, okay? Welcome, Loiso. All right. Fox, I just want to make a correction on stream title. The WEF speech started with Donald J. Trump threatening to obliterate every person agree. Oh, good! Fox Emblem, good. Love that for us. Love that. Love that. Okay. Oh, love that. Okay, God, I almost thought maybe I definitely should change the stream title at this point. Okay. Thank you, Jamil. There's the goat. Now I get it, Jamil, and I'm an idiot, and I apologize to you, Jamil. May you forgive me, okay? Lois, so I swear to God, okay? You're already starting with this nonsense, all of you. Bundy's videos, you are not just the goat. You have also proven to be the old goat. Your ignorance may be excused. Thank you, Bundy's videos. Thank you. I don't know who you are. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but I appreciate you and glad you're here as always. Taco Trump is back. Oh, great, Alyssa. Yeah, it is. Hopefully. Never thought I'd agree with it. I know, Maloney, right? Welcome, Meowser. Yeah, and I never thought I'd agree with Maloney either. Hello, Plant Sunshine. Hello. Okay, guys. Let us get into the good stuff. I've said my hellos. It's gone. I think I said too many hellos. I just kept going. So now, where there may be disagreement with me in the chat here, I will say, oh, excellent, Bundy. Always glad to have a new person in the live streams. Glad to have you here. First of all, folks, as always, if we get one super chat, I'll put on the jester hat. If we get 3, I'll put on the jester collar. If we get 5, we'll play a game. If we get to 10, or if we get to 10, I will in fact do a jester after dark stream. Yes, I'll do a Jester After Dark stream if we get to 10, okay? So, I'm sorry. So, 1 hat, 3 collar, 5, I'll stream, well, yeah, 5, 5 we'll play a game. If we get to 10, we'll do a Jester After Dark, okay? There's our thing for today. For those who are joining, that includes sending me super chats of $2 or more, or sending me, 200 bits over on Twitch. Okay. Meowsor, thank you so much. That automatically gets us. Thank you, Meowsor. That automatically gets us a jester hat. All right, thank you, Meowsor. So, Mithril. Oh my God, I love the English. I love the UKers out there because you all really would. If we were in person, I know you would bring hot chocolate or tea or pastries. Okay. Anyway, all right, you guys. I do need a whiteboard with all these levels, don't I, SoCal? Okay. Maybe I should actually get one. That'd be good. All right, guys. So we have a few things to talk about. First of all, our fascist president's desire to conquer an allied island appears to have slightly softened, slightly, and we can disagree about this, right? But he, you have to understand. So yesterday, I was hyper focusing on the stock market because it started crashing pretty quickly. It kind of almost went into, it was in a bear territory. It dropped about 800 points because of Trump's threats of using military action against Greenland and because of his threats of tariffs and things like that. And today, suddenly, when he got in front of a camera and he basically said that I will not no, I'm not going to be using military force against Greenland because I don't need to. Now, I wrote that as backs down, but of course, that doesn't mean he won't eventually use military action of Greenland, but it does appear that at least in the short term, he's not going to use military action against Greenland. And I suspect, yeah, don't believe him. Do not believe him, Louise, absolutely. But I will say this, it is possible that it's true. And I say that, hello, gluteomyalgia. I love having you here, ass pain. You're always such a pain in the, well. Retro Asher, hello, Retro Asher. Happy birthday, Retro Asher. So the reason it's possible, folks, is because he's corrupt. A lot of his, donors are wealthy people who benefit tremendously from the stock market. And I wonder if he got some phone calls after he made these comments. And that's possible. Does that mean he won't end up doing it? No, he still might do it. And we should obviously, whenever you have an authoritarian leader making threats like this, you should never, ever believe them or take them at face value. I want to make that clear. And honestly, I probably should change the stream title because I don't want to get everyone that impression. I kind of made the stream title quickly though. Plant Sunshine, thank you. Whoop whoop, just got paid. Yeah, Plant Sunshine, make them bucks. Make those bucks, Plant Sunshine. Thank you. One more, folks. One more donation, and we'll put on the jester collar. Thank you so much for that $11, Plant Sunshine. You're an angel, an angel. Okay. Always love having you here as well. Okay. So that's just something to think about. It could be that he's being pressured by economic interests. It could be that there's a bunch of reasons why. But it also could be that it isn't true. All right. Um, well, what just happened? Someone just did something? What did someone just do? It looks lovely. See here, SoCal, the whole thing is a guaranteed way to get us out of NATO, especially due to intra-intelligence conflict, which could potentially trigger a NATO for arguable. Yeah, he has SoCal. Um, how many subs for Jester? But what was that? What just happened? Did someone send something? Oh, Lamira, thank you. You subscribed at tier 1. We got enough here. Loiso, hey, you give me $100, Loiso, and I'll do a Jester burlesque for you anytime. Okay, so let's do this. I will put on the Jester collar. So, what do we all think about the Greenland stuff? I should perhaps rephrase the title of the stream. I don't think he. I also want to point this out. Well, maybe I won't say that. What do we think about the Greenland stuff? He did say that he wouldn't attack it because he doesn't need to. That does, of course, imply that he's gonna get his way some other way, but there's no evidence that he will, so that might mean the last resort is violence. Okay, yeah, Nero might be losing his mind. Um, yeah, absolutely, Pizza. Never believe them. Okay, but I will say this, guys: it's weird for him to back down like that or to say that verbally because he's a very prideful person, and I suspect he wouldn't want to say that unless there's some big pressure on him to say that. Again, I don't know. Um, all right. But it's an interesting development at least. All right. So let's hope that our fascist president doesn't start attacking people left and right, or at least he might hopefully backs down Greenland, but maybe not. Okay. Let's not trust him completely at all. Um, give me 1 second here, folks. So what do you think? From my perspective, I don't believe that but that's fair, Lamira. Okay, so most of you, please bring me sanity today. Dex Stewart, you know that's not possible in this stream. We're all crazy. But it's possible, Jazz. As someone may have told him that. Okay, it was backing down in the sense that he said, "I don't want." Uh, yeah, I know, Fox Upham, you're right. He's backing down in the sense that he said, "I don't wanna," after saying he wants to obliterate Greenland. How great, isn't I know, right? Isn't that great, Fox Upham? Don't we love it here? Don't we love it here? Yeah, and you're right. He might change his mind suddenly, folks. I just want to point out, maybe I was overexcited when I heard that because I really don't want him to attack Greenland, obviously. But okay, we obviously should never trust him. Okay. Um, yeah, no, that's a good point, Meowser. But I will. But again, though, Meowser, like the fact that he would admit that, say that out loud, he's a very prideful person. Like he doesn't like backing down at anything unless he's getting a lot of pressure to do it. But it's just interesting to imagine. We'll see what happens. You think it'll be summer? Okay, generals know from history you don't open a front in winter. That is true, Mithril. That is very true. That's a very good point. You're right, Melzer. Okay, so how about this? What I'm going to do, folks, is because I made this stream super fast because I just dropped Aaron off at a bus stop so he could get a bus back to Indianapolis. Let me, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the stream title. Trump speaks about Greenland. I'm just going to say speaks about Greenland instead of saying that. That sounds better to me. All right, there we go. All right, that sounds a little better to me. All right, so hello, G-Man. Welcome, G-Man. Glad to see you here, G-Man. All right. So, yeah, we are in hell, essentially, there, Alyssa. Okay, so that was an interesting thing that happened. We'll see how that plays out. Still, the horror continues. The horror continues. His ego needs Lebensraum. Outer Signal, you know exactly the words to use to get me interested. Well, that makes me sound like I'm a Nazi. But, yes, Lebensraum. It's very much like a Lebensraum type thing. Okay? Yeah, that's for sure, Outer Signal. Okay. Hello, Stanley Yelnats. Welcome back, Stanley. Should the USA trust NATO to defend Greenland in the event more war breaks out in Eastern Europe? Should the USA trust NATO to defend Greenland in the event more war breaks out in Eastern Europe. Yeah, Stanley, that's my thought. Stanley, is that I don't know. This is where I'm like the European leaders are in a tight spot because they are also concerned about Russia. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. All right, I don't know. Okay, so we'll see what happens there, Stanley Jonas. That's a good question though. All right, welcome back, by the way, Stanley. Even though you disagree with me on a lot of things, glad to see you here. NATO is over. That's very possible, G-man. That's very possible. Okay, guys, so let's talk about some stuff. We just talked about that. I'm going to put the scene up here. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? I just have a little list of things here I wanted to briefly talk about. All right, another thing that happened, guys, is Trump decided to pardon a bunch of people. So for those who don't know, who aren't from America or don't know about our laws or whatever, there is a okay. The president has the power to pardon criminals. All right. So Trump pardons criminals. Now, so he did this. Let's see here. So he pardoned a bunch of people, and almost all of them. Okay. The people, of course, yes, correct, at the federal level, not at the state level. So he basically said this. He pardoned a whole bunch of people. And if you were to guess, guys, without looking, what kind of people do you think he pardoned? Who do you think he pardoned? Do you think he pardoned like black people who had been convicted of marijuana or whatever? Right, Weird about heroic patriots. Weird about black and oh sure, Matt Sai guy, sure. Yeah, Asma. Welcome, Asma. I'm so glad to see you back here, Asma. What exactly, Sir Bartholomew? White collar criminals. He basically pardoned a bunch of corporate criminals, business executive criminals, things like that. Now, there were a few people he pardoned that weren't that, but like they're all a bunch of people that had committed financial crimes, right? So, but not all of them, but a lot of them were. He, uh, yeah, over half of the 88 individual pardons are for white collar offenses, mainly money laundering, bank fraud, and wire fraud. Right. About half the pardon recipients are either business executives or politicians. Love that for us. Love that. All right. He also, in the latest round of pardons, he did a former healthcare CEO, the former governor of Puerto Rico, and a pair of siblings who were convicted on fraud charges. Right. So of course, we need Okay, Portland said, "Welcome, Portland 1000." But at Davos, Donnie is rightly attacking the windmills because he is afraid it will turn the flat Earth upside down. Who wants that? Thank you for your attention to this matter. Thank you, Portland, for the very important comment from our leader there. Hello, Portland. Okay, so right, so of course, guys, I am Matt's like I am an anti-white racist. Okay, so uh, like, all right, yes, and the founder of the Silk Road. Very true, gluteomyalgia. So of course he does, Tomation. Like his whole thing is about fraud. He's pardoning people that he sees himself in, right? He's pardoning. It's almost like pardoning through proxy, where he's like deeply guilty of all these crimes that he's done. So he's pardoning people that have done the crimes he has done as sort of a way to protect himself. That's my theory. Okay, that's my theory. I'm sure, Elliot, but under Biden, Biden, right, Elliot? Okay. So, that happened. That happened. That was fun. He also pardoned a few billionaires. All right. Okay, a few billionaires. Like okay, Also, a longtime English soccer club owner, Joe Lewis, who pleaded guilty last year to insider trading. So, guys, of course, we have a two-tiered justice system where the elites and the powerful can get away with whatever the hell they want, and the rest of us get to go to prison. Yay! I love that for us, guys. I love that. Great situation we're in, everyone. Great situation we're in. Normalcy seeker, I'm so glad you're here. I've been seeking normalcy for a long time. Okay. Hello, Big Braden. So anyway, that happened. Of course, he also, by the way, a while back pardoned all the people that were guilty of January 6th without even looking at what they were convicted of. Um, okay. Yeah, if they do go to you're right, if they do go to prison, it's like a country club anyway. Exactly, Jazz Nass. Okay. So, all right. So again, more of the same. I hope we're not totally surprised. And can we just point something out here? Mithril mentioned this, and Mithril, I skipped over your comment because I wanted to go back to it. What do we think about the president having the ability to pardon people? I think it's kind of fucked up. I don't think that should be something that we keep allowed to continue happening. I think the Constitution needs an amendment at the very least. I don't think the president should be able to pardon criminals. It opens the door to a fascist like Trump to not that the Constitution, don't get me wrong, guys. It doesn't the the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. Forgive me. Forgive me. I just want to point out obviously it doesn't matter anymore under this presidency, but I'm just saying in theory, maybe we shouldn't let the president issue pardons because that allows uh that allows a leader to basically pardon anyone who commits a crime on their behalf. Right? Right? Okay. And for those you of course you do, Weird Morris Blob. You want a complete autocracy, of course you do. So hell no, criminal is a criminal unless wrongly convicted. Exactly, gluteomyalgia. And we need a better okay, let's see here. I'm sorry guys, I'm reading all these comments. The only pardoning I've ever been okay with I can think of is when, yeah, absolutely, Big Braden. And there are also other people who have been pardoned that were good. Like Obama pardoned a bunch of people that were convicted of marijuana possession and stuff, which, yeah, please pardon them. The problem, though, is that, we could still have a pardon power, but could we maybe put that in the hands yeah, G-Man, but obviously it's not used that way a lot of the time. Maybe we should put pardons in the hands of the legislature. The legislature can decide whether to pardon someone. There you go, Tomation. Like, I don't know. There has to be a way to do this where people can be pardoned who have been wrongly convicted without a single leader being able to decide that and then using that to pardon people. Or maybe the pardons have to be okayed by Congress. I don't know, something. Obviously, Congress is too deeply corrupt for any of this to matter right now. I'm just saying. Uh, yeah, me neither, Alyssa. But this opens the door though to presidents pardoning people for things like this. Okay, obviously this is all theoretical and like off in la la land because our system is so corrupt and insane that I'm kind of living in la la land. But theoretically, we could do something like that if things worked the way they did. Okay, yeah, it would be nice if they did pardon Snowden, right? Maybe by a judge. Yeah, there you go, G-Man. Not the Supreme Court right now. They are corrupt. Yeah, there you go, Asmit. So like we could debate this, but it's like it's always been an issue I've had with that idea, all right? So there we go. I'm trying to see here. Okay, and by the way, when Trump was asked about why he pardoned these people, the president said that he was not concerned about the appearance of himself being corrupt. And then he said, I'd rather not have you ask that question. Great comeback. Great comeback. Stanley, preemptive pardons are awful too. What do you think about that, Stanley? Like, I think preemptive pardons are so stupid. Like, why would we preemptively pardon anyone? Okay. That includes, by the way, I don't like that Biden pardoned his son or whatever. We can debate that, but like okay, there's some pardons I've liked, but also I just think we need some difference there, okay? No, me neither, Alyssa. Me neither. But like I'm just saying, like there are certain pardons that I've liked, right? But clearly this power can be abused, right? The fact that yeah, Jamil, and that was good. I liked that, Jamil. I have liked a lot of the pardons that like Biden did, that Obama did, but clearly this power can be abused. Maybe there's a way that we can still do it where we can still pardon people who should be pardoned while also making sure that the president doesn't have autocratic powers to excuse crimes that are beneficial to himself or herself, right? Okay, so regardless, just something to think about. Okay. All right. Yeah, the Biden thing was I think was mostly political attacks, even though he did break the law. But I don't like Biden did that either. Yeah, I don't like it either. But I get the yeah. We can all right. Stanley, I don't like the Fauci pardon, which oh yeah, totally, Stanley. I don't again, I don't like any kind of preemptive pardon. I don't think Fauci should have been found responsible for anything, but I just don't like that. So we can agree on that, Stanley. I don't like it when I don't like a lot of different pardons. Okay, just announce a purge day and then preemptive pardon. Exactly, Mauser. That's exactly my point. Just announce a purge day and then preemptive pardons for every American the day after. It's insane to me. All right. Trump pardoning all those people feels like the Joker freeing all Batman's nemesis just to cause frenzy and It is, Victoria. Okay. Yeah, you're right, G man. But I wish there was a more democratic way of doing that oversight. This is complicated, and I don't know if there's a perfect answer. Uh, but yeah, right, big brain. Okay. So anyway, just something to think about. That's something else Trump did is he pardoned a bunch of these folks. Of course, a bunch of corporate criminals. You and I, by the way, would never be pardoned, right? You and I, you would never be pardoned. All right. Okay, of course. Now then, yesterday, uh, there you go. Exactly, Loiso. Exactly. I'm perfectly okay with Hunter Biden being in prison for a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that I not a fan of, but okay. Um, G man, I was gonna briefly talk about this is not Cena. Good guess though, G man. That's another famous person. I forgot I forgot to remove this. I was gonna talk about Ibn Khaldun. All right. Ibn Khaldun. But Cena is also really cool. But maybe we'll talk about Khaldun here in a second. Yeah, and Stanley Yelnats, that was a mistake. I do not okay. So Stanley says Lincoln pardoned the Confederates after the war, which was unpopular, but trying to unify the country. It was a mistake, Stanley. I do not think that Lincoln should have pardoned the Confederates. I really don't. I think they should have been put into prison or they should have been hanged. I know that might be a controversial take. I think Lincoln made a mistake in that regard. I like Abraham Lincoln. Love Abraham Lincoln. But I think that was a mistake he made because what it ended up causing no, I think you're right, Stanley. Or was it Lincoln? Stanley, I can't quite remember. Maybe it was the guy after Lincoln. But they should have been in prison and or they should have been hung. I think one of the issues with this was you know what? Let's look it up. Was it? I don't. Maybe it was Johnson that did it. Um, I should know this. I'm a historian, but my brain is not working. Lincoln pardons Confederates because it ended up leaving the South. A lot of those. Oh, okay. Both during and after the American Civil War, pardons for ex-Confederates were given by U.S. Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Johnson. Okay. Um, so he did pardon some of them. Oh, interesting. Okay. He tried to pardon them, and then it was Congress that, changed that. So but, like, I don't, 'kay, but Lincoln was he absolutely did, G-Man, and I was gonna talk about Ibn Khaldun because he was brilliant and most people don't know about him, all right? Um, Okay. So yeah, Johnson was sort of well, kind of Meowsword. He was kind of a Confederate sympathizer. He also just really he was a complicated figure. He was not a good guy, but all right. So I do think that uh the these Confederates should not have been pardoned. And it was partially, by the way, Congress that did this, and then Johnson pardoned a lot of them too. Uh and he did a he made them make an oath. I think they should have been arrested and put in prison, but that's my opinion. I think that the South would have developed better because a lot of those ex-Confederates ended up joining the Ku Klux Klan and undermining every attempt at equality in the South. Big mistake, in my opinion. You need to bring the hammer down sometimes. Okay. So anyway, but yes. All right. Yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. All right. So, but again, I don't necessarily blame Lincoln for that, though. That was a very complex situation. But I think in retrospect, it would have been better that he did that. Okay. Imagine if the world, if Reconstruction wasn't sat right, weird amorphous blob. Oh my God. No problem, Stanley. Uh, I could be wrong, of course, Stanley. All right. Wait. Cotton. Oh my. Oh, Jazz Naz. Awful. Okay. Please tell me you're a person of color there, Jazz Nazik. God, I think there's a lot of ours. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was asthma. A lot of our systemic issues were built from Reconstruction. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, guys. By the way, it was a mistake. It was a mistake to assassinate Lincoln. He probably would have been better for Southern Reconstruction than Johnson was, in a lot of ways. Anyway, at some point, guys, we'll talk about Lincoln. I want to do a whole stream on him. Very brilliant man. And yes, guys, I know a lot of you out there can nitpick. No, none of our presidents have been perfect, but in terms of our presidents, he was pretty brilliant. Um, okay, no, Loiso. That's where that phrase kind of comes from, Loiso. That's why I'm at. That's why I was asking. Okay, uh, okay, okay. Oh, then that's okay, Jazz Naz. Okay, I'm hoping because you might not want to use that phrase in public if you're not okay. Anyway, uh, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, he was gonna give land to the slaves. Absolutely. Yeah, and Grant was pretty cool. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting off track here. You guys are gonna get me. You guys are gonna get me. Um, you guys are gonna get me all in my history mood. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a drink. We'll talk about that more at some point, okay, guys? Yeah, as he may have been gay. We don't really know, but only hot take. He may have been gay. But I honestly, I don't buy that. My historical idea is I don't think there's enough evidence to say he was gay. It's possible he was, but okay. Oh, amazing, Jazz Naz. Okay, no, asthma. Bi people don't exist. Bi people do not exist. They just don't exist. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Oh, absolutely, G man. Let's avoid present. There you go, G man. All right. Okay. So I'll say evil revolt is straight. What do you mean evil revolt? Who's evil revolt? I'm not straight. What do you mean? How dare you say I'm straight? Okay, right. What is wrong with all you people? Why are you suddenly crying and shit? Are you getting mad that I said Lincoln might not be gay? J-Mac, I am not confident. That's why I said I don't think historically, but there are historians who do think he was gay. You know what? You're all just trying to piss me off. Yeah, exactly. Dolly Boy, I was just trying to see if you were here, literally. I thought if I said that you would pop into the stream and then I'd be able to see that you were here. So I'm glad to see you're here. I will always, Dolly Boy, insult by people. Okay, by the way, guys, I bi people do exist. That's a joke I make. Okay. Body swap. Glad to see you here. You said, oh yes, I did, but that's a joke. You all know that's like an ongoing joke I have with Dolly Boy, and since Dolly Boy's here, I can say it. Bi people don't exist. They don't exist. That's a lie. All right. Of course, it is a lie. Bi people are great. All right. Okay. Let's go. Body swap. Have you been here before? Let's continue. All right. So, by the way, guys, if we get 2 more super chats, I will put on. We'll play a game. Okay. All right. And if we get to 10, we'll do a Jester After Dark. All right, guys. So let's go on here. So I wanted to talk to you. There's a few random things I wanted to talk to you about, okay? Because I haven't been streaming well for a while. I wanted to show you this guy right here. Now, I was originally going to remove this image and not talk about him. It's going to be brief, but um, Oh, Body Swap. Welcome, Body Swap. Glad to see you here. And yes, a fun game, Asmon. How dare you imply I wouldn't play a fun game? Body Swap. Who are you in the Discord? Who are you in the Discord? By the way, folks, if you haven't, oh my God, Dex Stewart, please, let's do it. Okay, just kidding. Lincoln was a giraffe. He kind of was. All right. So we'll talk sometime about Lincoln's legal genius. But first, I want to talk about this guy right here. Now, I forgot to remove this. I was going to talk about him. If there are any Africans in chat, or any, I know I should say North Africans in chat. I'm really stereotyping here, or Arab folks in chat, people from North Africa, people from the Middle East. You probably know who this is. All right. This guy is Ibn Khaldun. All right. And I'm going to, I need to remind myself when he was born and died. So I'll quickly do that. And this guy, the first time I ever even heard about this guy, yes, Gluteal Magic accounts. Okay. The first time, oh, cool. That's so cool, Body Swap. Love it. All right. Okay. The first time I heard about this guy was in grad school, and that's depressing. And ever since I learned about him, I've been trying to get more people to know about him. So he was born in 1332. All right. 1332. And he died in 1406. And it is not an exaggeration to say Plant Sunshine, do you know him? Do you know who Khaldun is? All right. He came up with so many ideas in so many different fields way ahead of their time, and he never gets talked about. All right. He is thought to possibly be the first sociologist ever. And at this time, guys, you're not seeing a lot of people think that way wandering around. Okay. 1332 to 1406. Okay. He is considered, I'm trying to give an example here. All right. He kind of was one of the first people to come up. He was like one of the first economists, first sociologists, first historians, first Arab historians. He was one of the first anthropologists. A lot of the ideas that he had literally were developed only far later in Europe. Okay. And so, like, okay, for example, in sociology, he described the difference between sedentary versus nomadic life. All right. He talked about group cohesiveness, as in different cultures and societies have to develop cultural standards and stuff that promote group cohesion and solidarity with each other. Like this is the 15th century. To be thinking about these things at that point is way ahead of your time. Okay. He what else did he do? He talked about kinship structures in societies, right? He talked about how empires grow and decay. I'm just trying. Yeah, there you go. There's a call. I didn't know that Plant Sunshine. I didn't know there was a college named after him. All right. All right. He talked about he encouraged critical thinking. He outlined early theories of division of labor, taxes, scarcity, and economic growth. It is thought, folks, that he developed a labor theory of value, which is what Karl Marx said, that the value of goods comes out of how people labor. He developed this before Karl Marx did, and Karl Marx never heard of him, all right, because it was so many years earlier, okay? He also traveled. Yes, there you go, Gluteal Magic. He had a concept of a labor theory of value. Okay, I could go on and on and on. He traveled all around the Islamic world, interviewing people, seeing different cultures, seeing different societies, studying different cultures and societies, developing all these theories. And like this was well before anyone else did any of this stuff. Anyway, so I really recommend. He's one of the like titans of world history in terms of his intellectual prowess, his contributions to the art, to the social sciences. But Europeans a lot of times don't learn about him, or especially Americans don't learn about him. And a lot of the stuff he developed wasn't adopted by Europeans or the Christian world, and had to be developed again later, partially because of who he was. Right, he was a Muslim guy. in the Arab world during the Islamic Golden Age. But just someone to think about that no one ever talks about is Ibn Khaldun, one of the first great scholars of the world. Okay, that no one really talks about. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that, G man. Guys, he theorized. Remember, this is the 15th century. He theorized that human beings developed from apes. Like, I mean, that's kind of ahead of their time, right? Like, that's kind of ahead of your time, way before, Darwin. Okay, so just something to think about. We get this idea. We forget that there was an Islamic. Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, he was. Did I say he was the first one? Maybe I did say that. He was far from the first one to suggest that, but he still suggested it like well before like Darwin did. Okay, there you go, Asmit. But Muslims are scary. Exactly my point, guys. So just something to remember. I was gonna talk more about him, but I'll just do a little short thing there since G-Man brought it up. That's Ibn Khaldun, and most people don't know about him. Very brilliant guy. Now, we could debate how like okay, so we could debate this stuff. There is yeah, he didn't really like invent it, Asmit, but like he had made some observations about that, okay? Anyway, okay, Arabic numerals, by the way, like, okay, a lot of stuff comes from Islamic culture, okay, Islamic civilization, etc. We just need to remember that. And, there are some really brilliant people like Ibn Khaldun. All right. Now, he wasn't perfect. Guys, no one, and people in the 15th century clearly probably had some things we disagreed with that they believed in, but just be aware, way ahead of his time, brilliant guy needs more people to know. I need more people to know about him for my own sanity. Okay. Uh, yeah. I don't know, guys. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Lois. So Lois. So you're like stealing my thunder. One of the reasons why Mithril, you say, what happened to Islam? When did its leaders revert to primitivism? So Mithril, I could debate you about whether that's the proper term to use. I will say this: a lot of um, Baghdad. Yes, Baghdad, the capital of Iraq, okay, was looted by the Mongols, and Baghdad contained this massive library of knowledge, of intellect from the Islamic world. The Mongols are part of the reasons why they destroyed the Islamic Golden Age ended. There's other reasons too, but the Mongols did a lot of destruction. There's other reasons too. The Crusades helped, I guess you could say, do this. All right. Okay. Right. I know, G man. Okay. So anyway, there you go. That's literally where the word algebra comes from. Okay. So there you guys go. All right. So he was a really cool guy. Really cool guy. No, 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 Mithril. By the way, people don't take what Mithril said personally. Mithril, I didn't. That's why I said debate. I know you didn't mean it that way, Mithril. I know what you mean, though. Okay, but like a lot of that stuff was destroyed by the Mongols when they looted Baghdad, amongst other things. Okay. Anyway, all right. So, guys, also over farming and things like that in the Middle East kind of caused some issues. We could talk about that. The Crusades caused issues. All right. Hello, Hurricane. Hello, Mr. King. Mr. King. Okay, guys. So that's it. I just wanted to briefly talk about him, and now we get to the main segment of what I wanted to talk about with all of you. Okay, so let's talk really briefly about, not briefly. Okay, we're gonna talk for a little bit about this. I wanted to go. Yes, Big Brain, and that's true. There were other reasons, guys. Also, the Ottomans. There's a lot of stuff. We'll do the history of Islam and the Middle East and stuff. Um, Okay, thank you. You know, Lois. So yeah, exactly. I purposely. I hope you all know. I'm purposely doing an understatement when I say the Crusades caused some issues. That's a way big understatement. Okay. All right. So guys, let's talk about something I've wanted to talk about for a while. This is Let's talk about imperialism and capitalism. All right. Uh, I know I'm jumping around a lot today. I just have a lot I want to talk about because I haven't been on as much recently. All right. By the way, if we get two more super chats, guys, if we get two more super chats, we'll play a game. All right. After we get through stuff. All right. So let's begin, shall we? So I wanted to talk about this because I want to first of all talk about how imperialism works under capitalism because of all the imperialism we're seeing happen under Trump, and that has been happening under America for a while. And then later, I want to talk about what causes empires to fall so that we can understand how the American economic system, how capitalist economic systems cause imperialist expansion partially, promotes imperialist expansion, and then how those empires always end up falling and why. Dolly Boy, thank you very much. Okay, one more. Thank you, Dolly Boy, for that contribution. One more, and we'll play a game. Okay, so this was this theory here was actually first pioneered by Lenin. Yes, Lenin. Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. Okay. I don't know if I pronounced that fully. Okay. Lenin came up with a lot of these ideas. It's been built upon by other Marxists and things like that. I think it's actually I think it's a really good approach to this. A lot of historians would disagree. Exactly. Okay. A lot of historians would disagree. I mean, I'm sorry, would agree with me on this. Others would not. I think, well, okay. I think some of the historians who disagree with him just don't like him. That's a different story. But because I've read what other historians say, and I'm sorry, Ulyanov. Thank you, Loisa. Okay. So let's briefly talk about what Lenin said about Lenin and Marx and Engels. They're all kind of well, okay. Okay, I know. I'm being careful because I know there's lefties out there who love this shit, and I don't want to make any mistakes. Okay. So I want you guys, while we're doing this, think about how this applies to modern day. Okay. So these are the steps that kind of lead up to late stage capitalist imperialism. Early capitalism doesn't necessarily, or like the growing, developing capitalism doesn't necessarily lash out as much imperialistically as late stage capitalism. Well, you'll see what I mean. Okay. So a lot of this time, you'll see why that is. So first of all, the first stage of this is monopoly domination or monopoly dominance. So in a capitalist society, right, you have all these privately owned businesses and enterprises competing with each other. And over time, the certain companies, enterprises become monopolistic. They become very big and are very powerful and control whole sectors of an economy. Now, we have laws against monopoly. Just because we have laws against monopoly doesn't mean that we don't enable monopoly regardless. Like, even if you have like two businesses that are in charge of computers, that's still pretty much a monopoly. Not completely. You see what I mean? So, okay. So, okay. So the first stage here is that. Thank you so much, Matt Saiga. We'll play a game after we get through this. Okay. So the first stage here is in a capitalist society, free competition between little enterprises give ways to monopolies. Name some companies who you all would say are monopolistic. Name some. Okay. Name some. Just throw them in chat. What are some companies, some enterprises that you feel are pretty monopolistic? I do not, of course, mean that it is like that they completely control things. Nvidia, there you go, Loiso. Nvidia, Spotify, all right. What else? We could even say Google, Apple, and I know they're not 100% monopolies, all right, but you could say that they're oligopolies. It's like a few big companies control Microsoft, Google. Okay, there you go. BlackRock, absolutely. Twitch, Tyson. Okay, you all get it, right? I don't know much about Twitch. I need to look into it. Amazon, there you go. Okay. Tesla, Palantir, Disney. Okay, you all get the idea. Big companies. Well, Tesla maybe not as much. That's a different story. Okay. All right. So these give way. So these companies end up, the Nestle, okay, give way to monopolies. So that's the first stage of capitalist imperialism. The next stage, finance capital. So also think about the history of the United States, right? Oh, thank you very much, Matt Saigai. Oh, yes, you did. Thank you so much, Matt Saigai. Really, thank you for that extra, Matt. Okay. The next stage here is finance capital. Okay, hilarious, Doug. Okay. The banks in these societies end up merging with industry and create powerful a financial oligarchy that directs investment. Guys, we have seen since the 80s and probably well since the 70s a massive financialization of the American economy to where there's a lot of people out there whose sole job is just to move money around in clever ways, and they make money off investment and moving money around. That is what financialization of an economy is. We have massively financialized the economy. So after those monopolies form, you start seeing financialization. Banks merge with industry. There you go, gluteomyalgia, and they start directing investment and things like that. All right. So stage one, monopolies form. Stage two, finance capital becomes really powerful. All right. And by the way, finance capitalism allows you to build companies and factories and stuff overseas. There you go, Asmint. All right. Okay, this is the most important one, in my opinion. Not the last one, but the most important one. After you start seeing the blending in an uh, of finance capital with industry, okay, it is fake non-productive gambling, G-man, which is why it'll always end up destroying all of us. You start seeing capital being exported overseas, okay? And this is where we start seeing the actual imperialist part of capitalism happening. So, when you start having more financial institutions, they start making investments in countries overseas. Why? What are some benefits to building a factory overseas? So before this, you would mainly see companies using labor at home. So, for example, Detroit used to be a hub of automobile manufacturers, and then they all started investing overseas and creating factories overseas. Why? Correct. Absolutely. Thank you, Gair. Gheir. Slave wages. Absolutely, Macy. Outsourcing. Okay. So that's what happens. You start, capitalism is about constant, less regulations. Excellent. Capitalism and tax benefits. Okay. All of these things you're saying, guys, is about generating more profits. All right. Generating more profits, because the goal of capitalism is constantly generating more profits. Line must go up. Line must go up. You have to have almost constant expansion and increase of profits to get more investment. Okay, there you go, Doug. Number must go up, right? So you have to constantly expand and seek new ways to get more profits. So, okay. So at home, what ends up happening as people demand more and more wages, people demand more and more wages and things like that. Okay. Uh, you need that cuts in on profits. So you start seeking ways to increase profits by going overseas so you don't have to spend as much. Okay. Things like that. So you start seeing capital leave the country that you're in and go overseas. Yes, G-Man, it actually can be, and I'll explain. So, G-Man, that is a very good and nuanced question. G-Man says, can this be good in terms of creating opportunities in the third world? Yes. Now, guys, I know for the lefties out there, do I think it's the best way to do that? No. But you're going to see it can also backfire because it does sometimes create new opportunities that then okay, we'll talk about it. Okay. You'll see what I mean here. Okay. So, yeah. So this causes two things, guys. Yeah, there you go, Meowzord. This causes two things, and this is why this is the most important thing. Yes, Stanley, absolutely. This causes two things. I'm going to go to this one first. All right. Now here, okay, this is the one I think you all will find very interesting. So, as people start demanding more at home, and you start moving your capital overseas, you also have an issue because as you're exploiting your own country with capitalism, you start getting class consciousness, you start getting your workers resisting you and noticing that they're being oppressed. Okay? Which is natural in capitalism. So, as you move your capital overseas, that gives these businesses that are at home, so American business, like workers that are still at home, it gives you the ability to bribe them. As you make a lot more money overseas off that labor, you can then pay some of your workers in the United States more money to help you exploit labor overseas. Okay, so what do I mean by that? It's called the labor aristocracy. So as you move, okay, I'm sorry, I know I'm saying a lot. Okay, let me explain this again. So you have now moved your factory to China, or you've moved your factory to maybe not China, but like to India, wherever, and you can now pay those workers less. You now have workers at home who are still angry and upset. So you can take the money that you're making off exploiting power overseas to bribe your workers at home into not resisting your power. So, for example, profits extracted from low wage labor abroad allows capitalists to suppress dissent at home by creating a middle class with higher wages. So the American economy is mainly a service economy. We have a ton of middle class white collar jobs, do we not? And the whole purpose of those jobs are to serve as like middle management between the capital owners and everyone else, right? And they make okay money. It's better than like the working class is making overseas. And a lot of those middle class people kind of feel loyal to the upper class because they're kind of being bribed by them by being given a better than normal life, okay, better than average life. You see what I mean? Does do we all understand this? Okay. So in the United States, we have a massive middle class. We can't really have that middle class unless we have labor being exploited overseas. All right. Does that make sense? By the way, having a middle class also makes it harder to promote class consciousness and work. It makes it harder for the working class to work together. Okay, thank you, Stanley, because you now have a sort of middle class that are kind of like loyal to. There you go, loyal to the elites, even though they're still an oppressed work class. And then you have the poor working class, which still feel oppressed, and you can turn them against each other. There's a lot of reason for that. And we've also kind of, in the United States especially, we even keep those two groups separate geographically. You have suburbs, a lot of which are full of middle class workers, and then you have urban developments and settlement areas that are where a lot of working class people are, and they literally are separate from each other, which makes it really hard for people to develop a class consciousness. Okay, so that's another part here. Another side effect of capitalist imperialism is the development of a labor aristocracy or a middle class. Okay. On the other hand, as a G-man asked me before, as you start moving these businesses and crap overseas to make more profits, okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Loiso, all right. There exactly, gluteomyalgia. And Loiso, guys, I want to point out that the American middle class is disappearing at this point, which is a sign of collapse of American empire. All right. But anyway, so development and exploitation. I don't want to say this is okay. As you send your factories overseas to other countries, workers in those countries start making more money. Even though you're massively exploiting them and you're not paying them much, they're still making some amount of money. And that allows that somewhat, now I know, don't hate me here, allows some level of development in those countries, even though it's a massively exploitative development. All right. And as you start to like do that, send your factories overseas, and workers there start demanding more, and governments might start demanding more. You start seeing a lot more resistance to your wages and your crap, your shit. All right. And then it becomes harder to exploit that labor overseas. And then you start losing out on the benefits of that labor overseas. All right. I should also point out, guys, we're talking about imperialism. How does all of this play into, you know what? I'll get back to that. I know this might sound boring, but I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. Uh, I'm going to ask you a question about how this plays into American imperialism. All right. The last two stages here are as you start to do this, you get these international companies that start forming international monopolies and control over whole sectors of the planet. All right. And then lastly, as these capitalist enterprises start running out of labor to exploit and running out of resources to exploit, okay, you start seeing competition, often violent, between different countries and their capitalist class. So, for example, America is now in massive competition with China, and we're kind of fighting China economically to dominate the globe economically and dominate workers of the globe, right? Or Russia or whoever it may be. And that can lead to a global war. All right. So the last two stages are here: the development of international monopolies, and then after everything has been divided up amongst the capitalist powers, you start seeing fighting. Okay. Here's my question for you. For example, if you're going to be doing this, if you're going to be allowing, if you want your companies to go overseas, you got to ensure certain things. What do you got to do as a government to make sure your companies can go overseas? What do you have to do for those companies to make sure that they're safe and secure overseas? Tell me. Think about what America has done in the past in regards to Latin America, in regards to how we've controlled the world, in regards to what we've done with other people's governments. What do we think? What do you got to do in order to make sure your companies can exploit labor and resources in other countries if you're a government and you have a military? What do you guys think? While we're doing that, while I'm waiting here, there you go, Matt Saigai, quote unquote promote democracies. You got to make sure that the governments of those friendly countries, since you're not directly owning them, are going to let your corporations be there and aren't going to put regulations on them and are going to suppress any dissent from low wages. Okay? You see what I mean? Because as I said, a way to stop the decline of a capitalist empire is to make sure people don't get better wages. So you can bribe the government. That's another way, Stanley. Bribe the government. Bribe the government. Overthrow their government and install a government that allows you to keep the resources and will you also will want. It's also beneficial, by the way, to have an authoritarian government that will crush any labor movement that will prevent you from paying people low wages overseas. So almost all of our foreign policy, there you go, outer signal, is surrounding promoting this is surrounding capitalism and being able to protect our interests overseas, whether it be overthrowing regimes, whether it be making sure we have dictatorships installed places. Okay. There you go, blackmail. There you go, Baladine. All right. Do you all get what I mean? All right. So you can see how capitalism naturally almost promotes this stuff. And here's the problem, though, folks. Yeah, you keep them down by keeping them in debt also. By the way, folks, if you control all the capital, if anyone here knows what the IMF and the World Bank is, you can kind of control those countries by sending them money that they can't pay you back and then demanding that they give you political concessions in return. So, like, let's say you lend, I don't know, you lend Gambia $1 billion. Okay, I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. You lend Gambia $1 billion. They can't pay it back. So as a condition of that loan, you say, by the way, you have to keep your markets open to our businesses. So you have to allow our corporations to come in. You have to make sure you keep your wages low. You have to, you get all these guarantees. So you also use loans as a way of keeping control. And it is not a coincidence that after the old European empires fell, like Britain, France, etc., you start seeing the growth of these international monetary organizations that were sort of a way of continuing colonialism and imperialism without direct control. All right? Yeah. Yeah, the IMF. Okay. This is very complicated. Are we all kind of getting the idea here? Okay, yes, Team America, World Police. So, what do we think has happened in Venezuela and Iran, by the way? Iran, under Mossadegh, refused to let our English corporations or British corporations exploit their oil. And so MI6 and the CIA overthrew that regime. Same thing with Venezuela. They kicked out American corporations and European corporations, and we've not liked them ever since. Okay. Um, exactly, Asmit. You're right. Um, there you go, Meowzord. Okay. Here's the problem, though, folks. This is naturally going to fail because you cannot, there's no such thing as permanent economic growth. Eventually, those countries are going to resist you. They're going to demand higher wages. The other countries will offer them better deals. And then what? Then your companies have no choice. Okay. And they're not going to be able to keep their middle classes going. They're not going to be able to make as much of a profit anymore, where they're going to be able to have a supported middle class. Okay, Loiso. And then what'll happen is the middle class back in the homeland will become deeply upset, and you're going to start seeing some problems, and the whole system may end up collapsing. All right. Also, yeah, you have totally Baladine. All right. So, do we get it? Yeah, I know, Dolly Boy. I know it's sad that line can't always go up. All right. So it is destined to fail, and it is a recipe for disaster. And what we're seeing right now is America's global capitalist imperial empire is falling apart, and it's hurting us at home. That's why people. One of the reasons people are suffering so much economically, is the elites are no really longer really willing to bribe the middle class. Okay, and the middle class is being destroyed. And what you tend to see there, folks, is that will have a lot of people get radicalized to the right wing or the left wing. And what have we seen? Now I'm oversimplifying here. What have we seen? We've seen, okay. No, it doesn't body swap. It doesn't. At least overall body swap asked, does capitalism and its logic even think of long-term sustainability of its empire? No, generally no. I don't want to, specifically, I know someone will find an exception if I say always no. Yeah, some capitalist enterprises may engage in some sustainability efforts for the sake of their business model or because they just happen to have someone who leads them that isn't the best capitalist. And so, but over time, no, they a lot of it's all about profits now, profits now, profits now. And as these companies start losing to the ability to extract resources and make a profit, they do everything they can, including dismantling regulations, cutting wages, uh, cutting taxes on their businesses, and that's what we're seeing. And so when the right wing tries to cut taxes on businesses, or prevent wages from going up or whatever, that is a temporary fix. It just makes people temporarily feel good, and it might temporarily make line go up, but in the end, it's going to collapse anyway, right? You see what I mean? Okay. There you go, Baladine. And that's the thing, Baladine. This is why, guys, I am a socialist. Socialist. I think our economic system should be based around what's best for society, not what's best for capital or the capitalists' capitalism, right? Because this system that literally our foreign policy is based around capitalism. So if we care more about what is best for society, you can develop a system that doesn't. So thank you, Eleni. Okay, you can develop a system that is more rational, literally rational. Okay, like not just based off constantly exploit, and then crash. Okay, that's more rational. That's more based off what's best for people overall and things like that. Okay. Anyway. Okay. But Monk won power, right? Okay. Uh, huh. Get rational. Kami wants rations. Loiso, I hate you, Loiso. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to talk with you about that. That is capitalist imperialism. And guys, I want to point out, let me do a little history brief here. That is not the only kind of imperialism. Do we remember, you know what? I'm going to redo a presentation on this at some point when I talked about cultural materialism, the idea that, okay, I don't want to get into this too much. You all remember this, who remember me talking about this, who have been here for a while. The economy of a society, the culture comes out of an economy, right? The economy is the base. I remember, okay, is the base of a society. And then everything else of your society kind of grows out of the economy and the environment, right? So your culture and your religion and stuff sort of grow out of the economic system and tend to support it. Okay. So, like in America, we have that big consumerism. It's all about buy, 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 buy. That is a culture that comes out of an economic system called capitalism that needs people to buy things. You see what I mean? Or, for example, we have Christianity is very popular in a lot of places. Christianity allows, to an extent, I'm kind of over exaggerating here, don't hate me, makes you think about the next life and not think about how you're being exploited in this life. So you can have low wages and be poor, and then you'll be told that, oh, that's okay. You'll be fine in the next life. Don't worry about this life, right? Don't push back. God will reward you for your suffering in the next life. You see what I mean? So a country's a culture comes out of an economy. Okay, so that's the same thing with imperialism. The imperialism comes out of the economy. So if you look at previous forms of imperialism, it was different. So, like during the Middle Ages, wealth largely came from agriculture. If you had a lot of land, you could get more surplus from farming more. Like the nobles could get more surplus, and then that would allow them to field more troops and have more power. So during the Middle Ages, conquest was the most important form of of imperialism. You'd literally want to take farmland from your enemies so that you had more farmland for more agriculture, for more troops. Okay, you don't necessarily need direct conquest under capitalism. Okay, you don't necessarily need it. You can have it. It can be more subtle, which is why when people disagree with me when they say we don't have an empire, we do. A lot of times it's just not that visible. But I will show you a picture here. Okay. Hello, I have a treat for you. Glad to see you here. Okay, let me show you a picture here. Map of US bases. Okay. If you think that we don't have an empire, I want you to look at this base, this map here. I think this is a base. I think I'm trying to find. There was a good base. Okay, here. Well, here this will work. Okay, here you have a map. This I don't know. I'm just looking. There might be more by now. There might be less. Whatever. You get the general idea. Here is a map of all of America's military bases. Like, uh, okay. Now we might not directly control all that territory, but dear God, we have a lot of bases all over the place, don't we? I don't know of any other country. Literally, I don't know of an other one anywhere on the planet that has nearly as many bases as the United States. Anywhere near it. Anywhere. Yeah, you're right, Loiso. And this is not a complete picture. I just kind of found the first one. I found there are many more than this. If that's not an empire, yeah, look at that, guys. You're right, guys. Look at Iran. Completely encircling Iran here. Completely encircling Iran. All right. Is this not like how would Americans feel if there was a foreign military base on American soil? You see what I mean? So, and how could Iran not, for example, which is surrounded by American military bases, not feel threatened? You see what I mean? Yeah, no, you're right, Loy. So there's some more in Greenland too. Like, okay, so, all right. Or even China, who has a bunch of military bases kind of near it. Or Africa. Okay, so there you go, Stanley, surrounding the coast of China. And then we wonder why like people might feel threatened by the United States, and we're like, we're not going to touch you. You have military bases like everywhere. And again, I now some of these countries do want the military bases. I don't want to oversimplify, but a lot of them are kind of forced to have them, right? Okay, there you go, Asmit. For real, I've literally been thinking that since I was a kid. There you go, Asmit. Good job. Okay, right? What is this, Civ 5? So, like, we have an empire. And what do you think, Asmit, because we have sovereignty? Okay, you all are going to, okay, Asmit asks a really good question here. Why do no other countries have bases in the US? Well, I'm going to say something, and you're all going to hate me. Before I say what I'm going to say, let me make something clear. I hate Vladimir Putin. I think he should be hung from the highest tree. He is a war criminal and an imperialist scumbag who regularly murders journalists and kills people. By the way, the American government isn't much better. I'm just saying, do not like Vladimir Putin. There, however, was one thing he said once that I'm like, that's actually kind of true. Okay. This is not me supporting Vladimir Putin. I'm just telling you where I got this quote from. There are other people who probably say the same thing without it being Putin. He made a comment where he said, "You have to understand, the United States doesn't like Russia or Iran because they are independent countries who are sovereign." And there's an exact okay. Don't support Vladimir Putin, but there's a lot to be said of that being partially true. You'll notice the countries that don't have military bases are ones that are still somewhat sovereign. Okay. They're not if you have a military base, it's going to be hard to have sovereignty. Now, does that mean some of these European countries don't have some degree of sovereignty? They do, but like uh yeah, so that's the reason why other countries don't have bases in the US is because we at least are completely sovereign. We dominate the globe. Other countries aren't that sovereign. Like for example, if there's an American military base nearby you that has 3,000 troops on it, what decisions might you make as a government that would be different if there wasn't a military base there? You see what I mean? So, okay. A lot of these countries we disagree with, we don't like them because they're sovereign countries, and we don't like that. uh, yeah, there you go, Asma. You see what I mean? And by the way, guys, having nuclear weapons is a pretty surefire way to ensure your sovereignty. So why do you think places like Iran want nuclear weapons? Because they know that unless they have them, all right. Um, no, yeah, Louis, so you're absolutely right. I want to point out here, guys, if you look, for example, I know this is why I shouldn't talk about Russia, guys. If you like, guys, the America is not the only imperialist empire in the world. Russia is also an imperialist empire. If you look here next to Russia, Belarus is basically a vassal of Russia. Okay. Some of these other countries in Central Asia are basically vassals of Russia. Moldova has a Russian military base there. Russia is also has had a military base in Syria. I'm not sure if they do anymore. Yeah, there you go. And there's also a bunch in Africa. So America's not the only empire. I want to point that out. And China has been building, has built like a military base in Djibouti and has a bunch of ports that they can. So, but I'm just showing you the American one. Okay. Yep. All right. Do we get it, guys? I want to point out that Russia is also an imperialist power. Um, so I shouldn't quote Putin. By the way, don't trust anything Putin says. He's a goddamn monster. Do you guys remember when Trump came out and he goes, "Oh, I was shocked I couldn't trust Putin," and he said that like a year ago, and it's like, really? You th that's like the first thing you just find that out? Okay. Yeah, right now, Bulladin, yes, America has been the most aggressive, but I mean, Russia's also pretty aggressive. Obviously, they don't have the reach militarily to be as aggressive as the United States. If Russia was the was the sole superpower, they would probably be just as aggressive as the United States. But yes, okay, I don't like any imperialist power. So I don't like Russia's imperialism. I don't like Chinese imperialism. I don't like, yeah, he is. He's the scum of the earth. And I really wish he would fall out of a window, if you all know what I mean. Okay. So anyway, so I don't like any of the imperialism. I just shouldn't quote Putin because I know it makes it seem like he's a horrible human being. All right. That's why I have a Ukrainian flag behind me. All right, you guys. It absolutely is, G man. Like North Korea, it's very complicated when it comes to China, North Korea. All right. We hope so, Asmit. We hope. Okay, all right, guys. So that's the kind of the presentation I want. That's true. I have a treat for you. It does have a lot of covert intelligence operations and things like that. Okay. All right. So anyway, so just be aware that Russian imperialism bad, American imperialism bad, Chinese imperialism, growing imperialism bad, bad. Right? Still bad. There also still is some imperialism coming out of Europe. Not as much, but bad. Like France has some imperialism going on in North Africa. Anyway, but regardless, just be aware. Okay, that's what I mean when I talk about. There you go. Well, gee, man, is it Israeli imperialism or is it American imperialism through Israel? I guess it's both. Let's be honest, it's both, right? Okay, it's both. But all right. No, the French still kind of do some stuff in Mali, etc. Okay, but you're right though, G man. Yeah, yeah, bad. Oh, absolutely, Loiso. Okay, there you go. Right. Okay, guys. So anyway, so there you go. There's my little presentation, folks, on the imperialism thing. Let's see how many people have I scared away. We got a few number of people in here. This is good. So, folks, if we get we got enough for a game. If we get 5 more, we will we'll do a Jester After Dark stream. Okay. So if we get 5 more super chats for those that are watching, if you like my content, you can become a member for as little as 99 cents a month. I'm going to put my face up so that you become a member for as little as 99 cents a month on YouTube, and if you're over on Twitch, you can subscribe using Amazon Prime and send me some. Oh my God, thank you, Dolly Boy. Yes, you're right, Matt. I'm sorry, 4 more. So we just need 3 more now. You can send me through Amazon Prime. You can send me Jeff Bezos's money over on Amazon Prime, or you can subscribe regularly, which will help me out here. I've been doing this full time. I'm trying to make it so that I can do it sustainably full time. Right now, I'm doing okay, but well, regardless, we can talk about it some other time. I'm hoping to expand. Tell your friends, by the way, folks, if you know anyone who'd be interested in watching me, please help me out. Let people know to come watch me, to come see me, share my stream with people. Please like the videos. Please like the stream if you haven't already. That'll help get more people in here. Um, every month I post how much money I make. I didn't last month. I still haven't done that. I've been lazy. I post how much money I'm making every month in the Discord. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. Uh, so let me do this here. I want to be very transparent about how much money I'm making. Let me see here. Oh, I'm just let me give me a second here. I'm going to quickly put the Discord here and so anyone who wants to join can join. We have a very fast growing community over on Discord. Love our community on Discord. Constant talking, constant good stuff going on. All right, here we go. Paste. Boop. All right. So come join us on there. Thank you, Body Swap. Yes, a lot of helpful Discords over there. Okay. Also, I will point out, folks, I've actually been speaking to, there are 2 gentlemen from Gambia. I mentioned Gambia today, who have been speaking to me privately. Okay. Gambia is, oh, Loiso. There have been 2 gentlemen in the Gambia speaking to me. I don't want to get into the details here, but I directed them to our community for resources. So if you see them in there, both of them are trying to get out of Gambia for a number of reasons. The regime there is not that great. I don't want to get too much into detail to protect their privacy, but if anyone, if you do see people in there from Gambia, please be friendly with them. Direct them towards resources if they ask for them. Okay. I also let them know we have some African folks in the server. I kind of threw you under the bus there, Outer Signal. I didn't say your name, Outer Signal, but I'm like, oh, we have some people from Africa who are in the server, so you could maybe talk with them, even though I know completely different countries. Regardless, I thought I might make them feel more comfortable to know that. All right. So anyway, let's see here. Thank you so much, Matt Saigai. You're a god, and you know that, Matt Saigai. You're a god, Matt Saigai. I would kiss you, Matt Saigai. I would kiss you if you were here. Do you know that, Matt Saigai? Do you know that? All right. There, I'm done flirting and doing weird sexual stuff. Okay. Okay. So, guys, let's do some reactions, shall we? Let's do some reactions. There were a few things I wanted to react to. Let me pull this up here. Excuse me. Excuse me. By the way, folks, this is this Friday. We're gonna have another Kahoot. Be prepared for the Kahoot, folks. We're gonna have another Kahoot. We've talked about a few things. We just talked about capitalist imperialism. We talked about, I have a treat for you, dear God. How dare you? You're never gonna let me down. You guys are never gonna let me let it. You guys are never gonna let it down that I said teached, are you? I can't even use my words correctly. You're never gonna let that down, are you? Because you're a bunch of goddamn degenerates. Okay. By the way, my significant other was very much enjoyed the stream. I want to point that out. He very much enjoyed. Thank you for being respectful. Okay, I don't trust you people. I don't want to bring him. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't have to like hide his eyes from the horrible things you all say. Okay. Okay, live it down. Okay. Yes. All right. teacher was a peak moment for us. Let's go, Matty Oates. Hey, Matty Oates. Welcome, Matty Oates. Who are you, Matty Oates? Have you been in here before? Welcome to the stream. How come I didn't bring him back? Because like I don't this how do I put it this way? This sounds bad. I could have him back some other time, but this is not we would need to maybe do an after dark stream or something. It was good content to talk about his life as a worker, but I also, guys, unless there's a reason for me to have them on, like it can provide you content that you guys that'll improve your lives or make or inform you about something. Um, the stuff that I don't know what. Okay, let's put it that way. I don't know what value he could provide in that way. That sounds bad. He could provide value, but like my dad was a teacher. My sister worked in a it works for a union, so they have some stuff they can directly talk about. He can talk about his personal experience, but anyway, I don't want to. I don't want to. It sounds bad. Okay. Like once, I love your wife, especially. Thank you, Matty Oates. Glad to see you here, Matty Oates. Okay, I know. I love you guys. I love you all. Um, okay. So welcome to the cult. How dare you, Sir Bartholomew? All right, so let's do some reactions here, folks. Now, we Loiso, how dare you? Loiso, no. The only person I view as an object here, Loiso, is you. Okay? You're the only person I objectify in this chat. No, okay, you know what? You know what, Dolly Boy? I'm gonna say it, Dolly Boy. Fuck you, Dolly Boy. Fuck you. You know why? You know, Balladine. Okay, I'm sorry, Balladine. I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure. I know, right? Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm gonna say it. You know why? Like, it is not that I don't think he contributes value. It has to do with the content of the stream because all you people are super sensitive. And if I were to put him on and it just is like not the content you want, you all would freak the hell out. You'd go watch, I don't know, you'd go watch Nick Fuentes or something probably. So it's all about how you people are. Okay. Oh, Lamira, I objectify you every day in my dreams, Lamira. Okay, oh my God, I'm so gross. I don't even know you, Lamira. Okay, forgive me. Sir Bartholomew, okay, you know what? The only people I hate, Sir Bartholomew, are Canadians. Those are the only people I would ever do a hate crime against. Anyway. Oh, you people? Right. Okay, I'm done, guys. I'm happy. Oh, no, you're not. Okay, you know what? We're done. We're done. We're done with this. Let's go on. We're done. So, let's continue. I'm offended for Dolly Boy. Asmit, I don't need your Dolly Boy doesn't need your support. Dolly Boy can take it, all right? Ugh. Excuse me, Matty Oates. Matty Oates, you're new to this stream. How dare you? How dare you, Matty Oates? You're not you don't Matty Oates, I swear to God, okay. All right. Moving on. So let's look at some things from. Okay, let's go. Yeah, you better go cry your maple syrup. All right, I don't know why I'm lashing out. Let's watch some of this. So, a few things here, guys. I wanted to show you this. I thought it was kind of dark. This is sort of a palate cleanser, I guess. Has anyone ever seen this? I have a treat for you. Oh my God. Yeah, Dolly Boy. Oh, it wasn't personal, Dolly Boy. Could you see how personal it was in my eyes, Dolly Boy? It wasn't personal. What do you mean? Anyway. Okay, Dolly Boy, I don't know why I hate you so much. I'm just so mean to you. I don't actually hate you. I hope you know that, Dolly Boy. Okay. All right. I hope we all know that I love Dolly Boy. Okay. I would marry Dolly Boy if I could. Sorry, that was kind of an escalation. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right. So here is an ad. I thought you'd all find this funny. Here is an ad from We do, Matt Saga. We are, guys, by the way, we have made enough. We have made enough to do an After Dark stream. Okay. Thank you, Matty Oates. Okay. So this is an ad from Germany. I just thought it was kind of, I don't know if anyone's seen it. This is an ad from Germany in 1988. I just wanted to show you guys the horror that's out there in the world. And it's also kind of fun. It is super interesting how, yeah, we'll do an After Dark. It's super interesting how racism is approached differently in different places. And I got to tell you guys, okay, Asmund, I swear to God. Okay. I got to tell you, as an American, right? I'm not saying that I don't know if this is negative or positive. I think a lot of times, and I might be generalizing, Americans are a lot more cognizant of racism than people in Europe and elsewhere. I know I am not being an American exceptionalist. It has to do with how the history of our societies and the culture that has developed out of them, right? So I have seen like ads and stuff from Europe that are extremely racist that if they were shown in America would probably wouldn't be shown in America anymore, or I know, right, body swap, or would immediately cause big problems. Or like for example, in the Netherlands, I think they don't do it anymore. They would for a long time have people wear blackface, okay, and go out and do these things. No, you're right, Doug. You're right. This is from the 80s or 90s. But um yeah, Asmit, and but like okay, I'm not saying so I'm not saying you're I just think that because of our history, Americans oftentimes pick up on this stuff faster or it's less acceptable here, all right? Um yeah, exactly, Lloyd. So and sometimes it's bad. There you go, outer signal. Sometimes though this is bad in that Americans over racialize things. I'm just saying for the good Americans out there, I should put the ones that are against it. Okay, so let me show you this ad, all right? Let me show you this ad. And I will say I have heard that like and guys, I'm not bashing on Europe here, and this is way oversimplifying because there are different countries in Europe, obviously. But like I have heard outer signal that racism in Europe is less direct. Okay, like an American will know that they feel racist towards you, but in Europe, um, it's not as obvious, I guess, maybe. All right. Hello, Jake Love. Yeah, I agree, Lamira. Does that mean that we're less racist? No, it just means that we're more hypersensitive about it. Okay, yeah, okay. So let me oh, interesting. Body swap. I don't want to generalize as well, but when I visit family in Asia, racism tends to be more acceptable. Yeah, there you go. And guys, I've seen this too. Like a lot of Asian countries do a lot of things that are pretty racist, that are kind of anyway, regardless, yeah. Very true, Balladine. So let me just show you this. This is an ad from Germany. Now, this is obviously from the 1980s, but like I just saw it and I thought it was like, oh my God, okay. How would this ever put on TV? I'm sure there was American things like this too, but anyway. It's an ad for Chinese food.
Ja, wenn es so richtig chinesisch schmecken soll, Maggi-Fix für China-Pfanne. Mit Bambussprossen und der typischen Würzung. Fehlt nur noch das Fleisch.
Mit Maggi-Fix was Tolles zaubern. Neu, Maggi-Fix für China-Pfanne.
Mehr exotische Rezepte und viele, viele andere stehen im neuen Maggi-Fix Mini-Kochbuch Band 2. Wir vom Maggi-Kochstudio schicken es Ihnen gern. Gratis natürlich.
Okay, so I was half expecting at the end for her to transition into being in an SS uniform. Regardless, that's kind of gross, right? That's kind of gross. A little gross there, a little gross, a little inappropriate, I would say, a little inappropriate, kind of very blatant about it, right? Again, though, this is a different time. Yeah, you're right, and it's different, like, okay. Poor victims of the zeitgeist. I don't know about that, okay? So anyway. Oh, are you serious? Outer Signal, if you could find that, I would love that. You don't have to. I'm just saying, I would love to see that. Okay. So I just wanted to show that to all of you. Like, all right. Not great, right? Not great. Now, I wanted to show you something else here too, okay? Asmit takes courage to go. It does, all right? Something else here. I wanted to show you this video. This is gonna be a controversial take. Okay. Um okay, just
I promise.
so just pretty awful that ad and stuff that you see here. All right. Okay, yeah. Now, guys, I'm gonna kind of have a controversial take here. So this guy, he goes around and he gives money to people, and he tries to find people he thinks are in need of money, and he gives them money in various ways. And it's supposed to be like a feel good thing. There you go, Meowsword. It's supposed to be like a feel good thing where, he comes up with money and gives people money. And then thank you guys, nuisance philanthropy streamers. And I I don't think that it is. I don't like it. You think it's AI? Maybe it is AI. I don't know. But this guy is a real guy. I know. I don't think it is AI. No, this stuff. I don't think this is AI. But the problem here is that, like, these videos make me very sad. All right. So let me. Yeah. There. Thank you, Lamira. Poverty porn. So I'm gonna show this to you. We'll only watch one because I don't want to promote these things. Um, but let's watch this, okay, and then we'll talk about it, just as sort of a commentary on our society.
Excuse me. Whoa! Just fell out of your pocket.
It did not.
It did?
It did not.
I promise you it did.
God, no. Jesus, no.
What do you, I promise.
I have trouble watching it. It makes me sad.
He did not, God.
Thank you, Outer Signal.
Are you?
I'm 100% positive. You need some help right now?
Sorry.
God, this is not real.
I promise this is real. I promise. You're hurting, huh?
Guys, I don't know if we can watch the whole thing. It just makes me sad to watch it. But
So you can't hurt, you know?
I hear you. Well, I feel like Jesus is telling me right now that you might need a little bit more.
Things like this don't happen, God.
I'm not sure what that is.
God, it's so good.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
It's
There you
amazing.
go, Loiso. Okay.
I found the right person.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There you go. You want this money? Will you dance for it?
I'm
Will
gonna do
you
this
hunt
for you.
humans for it?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick this right here for you.
Guys. Exactly,
bless you,
Asmit.
He already has. We're just paying it forward.
God.
Can I have a hug?
Yes,
We're paying it
please.
forward. Okay, and remember, guys, he's getting lots of.
Have an amazing Christmas.
He's getting a lot of
Take
benefits.
care of your baby.
God bless you.
You're the reason I walked
Okay,
in
he's
here
getting
today.
a lot of benefit.
I
From
promise.
This too.
And I sat in the parking lot in my car just like, God, I barely can come in here.
I
you
know, Sir
And
Bartholomew. Now,
he's like, go anyway. Like, just go and get what you
Here.
need. Go.
No, Doug, I didn't
Nothing.
see that.
Here. Just take it all.
Guys, this is...
yeah,
No, I
okay.
promise.
I'm gonna stop it there, guys. Now, exactly, Mauser. Let me say something. Okay. First of all, I'm very happy that this lady got this money. All right. I'm not saying I'm not supporting this guy can give people money. That's his thing, right? It makes me really sad though, for a number of reasons. One, this is kind of exploitative, right? Two, this would not be something that would be as interesting in a society where people weren't desperate for money, right? I think a lot of, like he said, you know what he said to her? He said, looks like I found someone deserving. Well, you know, the whole system doesn't give what people need and everyone, people are deserving, and then the whole system makes it so that some people don't have the money they need. Like the fact that she is so excited about this money is deeply depressing. Okay. Like a lot of times it drives me crazy, like game shows and stuff where they're like handing out money to people. They'll be like, "Oh, you won $50,000," and people are like super excited and overjoyed because people are so desperate. Okay, people really want that money. We kind of have this game show culture, and I fully support him giving money if he wants to, but I don't like it being attached to something like this where it's exploitative in this way. Like maybe give it to her privately. Um, I don't know. It makes me very sad. The fact that we need to do that people feel they need to do charity like this because our society does not give what people need, right? I don't know. It just bothers me. All right. Yeah, and like you also film the whole time. Am I overthinking this, guys? Like, yeah, they do, Loiso, and like you have to understand this makes him look. It's also very beneficial for him, right? It makes him look like this angel coming down out of heaven. There you go, Lamira. Like, there's nothing wrong with charity. It's just that but also the fact that we even need charity is a problem. Like, if we actually provided what people needed, there wouldn't be a need for charity. And I deeply appreciate charity, but it's unfortunate that it's necessary. Um, so anyway, yeah, I know I might. It's just something that bothers me, and it always makes me sad. Like seeing it makes me want to cry, seeing how happy she is and how desperate she is. To me, this is not a feel good. Like I don't like how these are feel good videos. It doesn't make me feel good. it makes me feel like there's something deeply wrong in this country. You know what I mean? Interesting, Ice. I didn't know that. There you go, Mithril. That's insane. And right, like, and like Mithril. Anyway, yeah, yeah, okay. So, Mithril, yeah, Mithril said, I sat looking at my money working out. Yeah, that's insane, Mithril. That should not be happening in the UK. It's a it's a wealthy Western nation. It should, like, there's enough money for everyone. All right, like, it's okay. There should be enough. Ugh, it's insane. Outer Signal, very much orphan crushing machine. Yeah, handing out money to strangers doesn't help in the long run. Charity programs, yes. Watch a brokey not die from hunger this week. Isn't God great? Yeah, Loiso. Yeah, Lemira, guys. You know when people will talk about those GoFundMe pages, like, oh, let's pay for this kid who needs cancer treatment, and then like on a local news story, it'll be like, this kid finally raised enough money to pay for their cancer treatment, and they'll be like, this is a feel good segment. I'm like, that's not a feel good segment. That's deeply dystopian. Deeply dystopian. The fact that we have a child who needs cancer treatment needs to do a GoFundMe. All right. Anyway, guys, so just something I want to talk about. These videos bother me. This is the only one I'll show you of them. And I appreciate it. I appreciate that he does that. But okay. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you this, guys. This is a woman in Minneapolis, all right, who is an American citizen. Okay. And yeah, Outer Signal, it's crazy. All right. So this is an American citizen who, by the way, one last thing about that last video, it also undermines arguments. Yeah, it also undermines arguments for systemic change. It kind of hides the problem. If you're like, oh, we just need to help each other. Yeah, exactly, Asma. We just need to help each other to get through this stuff. Well, maybe we need to have systemic change. Maybe you should put your energy into changing the system because, okay. By the way, guys, charity, remember how I said a country's culture comes out of their economic system? Christian charity, a lot of like major religion charity, kind of helps uphold capitalism because it makes it so that the working class basically has to provide its own support for itself to keep itself around without changing the fundamental system. Yeah, like the way if you see a poor person next door, it's your job to give that person money and the community to come together and help that person. It does not say that you need to change the system, right? All right. Yeah. Okay, exactly. Anyway, I'll stop there. So this woman is from Minnesota or Minneapolis. She was walking through the parking lot of her aunt's St. Paul apartment complex when she found herself surrounded by a dozen ICE agents. Yep, Outer Signal, okay. Ahmed, born in the USA, says that she showed them her ID. She was forcefully detained and jailed anyway for more than 2 days. All right. So this is her. I want you to listen to her story.
Hi, my name is Nazir Ahmed. I am 23 years old from St. Paul, and I encountered ICE. I was detained, or let me rephrase it as I was kidnapped by ICE. I was kidnapped from ICE from my home. They came here, right there where I'm pointing.
Oops, you guys can't see it very well, I bet. It's so dark.
And they came here. We're following two men. And while they were following two men, they came and stopped at this exact area near the office. And when they stopped by the office, I was walking towards that area and I got caught in the middle of what was going on. And so as that went on, they came out of their cars and they went up to me and approached me and asked, hi, hello, they greeted me, and I proceeded to do the following. I gave them my ID. I did whatever I was supposed to do by their orders. And so while that happened, these ICE agents decided to racially indict me.
What does that mean?
one of the I think an ICE agent called me a racial slur. He used racial.
Oh, 100%. Guys, is it obvious? Like, why do you think they went after her? Come on, guys. Why'd they go after her? It's obvious. She's black. She has a head covering. She doesn't have an accent. She's clearly 100% American, right? But like, okay. A mad scene just joined. Where are we watching? We're watching a woman who was basically kidnapped by ICE and what her experience. Welcome, by the way, a mad scene. Glad to have you back.
Language, profound racial language towards me. And so that racial language felt very targeted. It was a word that many know of that is used towards black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a black person. I am a black person of Somali descent.
Yeah.
And that word is a very distressing word to hear, especially in this day, time, and age where ICE is going around terrorizing citizens and going around targeting specific people for their...
Yeah, by the way, folks, this morning, Donald Trump gave a speech where he said the following. I actually was watching it live when he said it. He said that the people, he was talking about the quote unquote Somali fraud in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. And he said that they were really good with their fraud. Who knows? I know those Somalis are really low IQ. I'm not joking. He said this. You can look it up. Those Somalis they're really low IQ. We know they're really low IQ. So it's surprising that they were able to do this fraud so well, given that they're so low IQ. Yeah, Stanley. Like, he just said it. Like, that is just old-fashioned eugenics racism, right? That black African Somalis are just low IQ. Like, anyway. All right. By the way, folks, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Ibn Khaldun at the beginning here, because clearly Muslims, anyway. All right. Imagine being scammed by yeah, there you go, Baladi. And this is a classic trend of fascism. I've mentioned this before. When fascists demonize a group, they say that they're both scary and big and a threat, and they're weak and can be destroyed. So, the big Somalis are launching all these fraud schemes and stealing all this money. They're also low IQ and weak and barbarians and things like that. Okay. Like, okay. I can't. All right. All right.
Origins and their backgrounds, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's very absurd. What's going around is
So they were kind of like surrounding you or asking you for papers, and
they asked me for my ID, and I gave them my ID.
Am I allowed to use okay, I know this is stupid. Am I allowed to use the C word on stream, you think? The C word for white people. I don't care about this word, but would I get demonetized if I use the C word on stream? Does anyone know? If I were to use, the word for white people that begins with a C? Like, I don't really... Yeah, exactly. Is that an okay word to use? Well, how about this? Just in case I would get demonetized. Whoever did that to her was a saltine cracker. And I'm really not a big fan of saltine crackers, because you all know, by the way, that word comes from the fact that white slave-owning saltine crackers, all right, I don't care about using the word, folks. I just want to make sure I don't get demonetized. Yeah, he did. But I'm talking about saltines. They used to hold whips. They used to have whips that they would beat people with. That's where the word comes from. Okay. Because you would literally crack the whip because you like saltines a lot. So you'd crack the whip. Bring me more saltines. So these crackers would be, these saltine crackers. Okay. So anyway, clearly she experienced a saltine cracker, and all right.
I gave them exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
I did exactly what they told me to do. But they decided to add their 2 cents to it and decide to
Kind of bait you.
But yeah, they decided to racially target me and indict racial.
Ooh, Victoria, we could debate this, Victoria. I disagree with that. Okay, now we can debate this. I actually disagree. I do think reverse racism is possible, and I don't think it's reverse racism. We could debate this. All right. Regardless, we can talk about it later. Okay, and it depends on how you define racism. But I know people out there will disagree with me. But okay.
And then what happened? Kind of did things seem to escalate from there?
Yeah, things seem to escalate. That then all I see next is that I'm getting arrested, I'm getting pinned down, I'm getting put in a car. I got
there. You go, outer signal. Exactly out. Exactly outer signal.
During that arrest.
Yeah.
Outer signal. You knew exactly what I meant.
Being
okay.
violent. They start just doing this. Like, I'm still shaking from the aftermath of all that I went through in the hands of ICE.
You were pinned down on the ground?
Yeah, I was pinned down. They just went full force on me. I am a 5'4", 112-pound girl. I mean, and the amount of ICE agents that handled my arrest, it wasn't just
God.
one,
There's such little.
There's such and
they need like a ton of ICE agents to arrest her.
You spent about 2 days in the Sherburne County Jail?
Yeah, that is correct.
And then some time in the hospital?
And some time in the hospital, and I spent in their detainment center that is called Whipple.
Okay.
I spent some time in there, and while I was there, I was detained, and they put little cuffs on my legs, they put cuffs on my arms, and it was a very distressing moment for me. I've never experienced this type of thing in my life. I've never committed a crime.
Yeah, so I just wanted you all to see that, I just wanted you to see it, right? Targeting this poor woman, okay, imprisoning her for 2 days for not really any good reason. She was an American citizen, by the way, American citizen. So that's what we've come to. I think you all know that already, but I just wanted I kind of wanted to remind everyone about what's happening. All right. Okay. So let me, all right, guys, would you like Yeah, you're right. They don't see them as human. Exactly, in your group. They do not see them as human. That's the issue, right? Um, they do, yeah. Okay, that's the issue, guys. And by the way, that is what got people to basically, what's the word? I'm having a mind blank here. Oh, yes. That's what allows genocide to happen, by the way. It's a long process of dehumanization. It is a long process of dehumanization, right? And you can see them becoming more and more dehumanized, and I'm deeply concerned about it, okay? Deeply, deeply concerned about it. Loiso, we needed 8 guys. Loiso. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that real fast, that this woman was targeted. It's not as bad as some other ones I've seen. I wanted to quickly show you guys this, which I think this is just kind of a funny thing that I thought was very funny, so I thought you guys will improve it. All right. Here we go. Let's watch this real fast. Okay, this is just kind of a comedy thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're right, Lois. Oh no, Lois. So I didn't know you were referring to that. Yeah. Okay, so what people think living in America is like.
Oh my god.
What living in America is actually like.
God, I hope that hits me.
I hope that hits me. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, it's so stupid, Lois. So it's so stupid. Okay. Okay, let me talk really fast, guys. What I just said about racism, okay? Outer Signal actually basically said exactly what I'm going to say here. Yeah, structural racism is definitely against people of color, right? I don't think it's It's not like a lot of times the right wing will. Yeah, I know. People are so used to gunfire. I'm gonna put up my face here. Okay. So, guys, there are different kinds of racism, right? You have structural racism, you have interpersonal racism, you have personal racism. Okay. And if we talk structurally, so like as a society, America is deeply racist. Deeply, deeply, deeply racist. Okay. Like the laws are set up in a way that is racist. The history is really racist. The structural treatment of black people and people of color is deeply racist. There are also a lot of so it is not really so when people say like, oh, affirmative action is racist, no, it's not. Okay. Um, okay. So, but then like, okay, like that's that's fixing an inequity. You see what I mean? Okay. Uh, however, it is possible on an individual level. Okay. It is possible on an individual level to Stanley Yelnats. One of the most racist laws is the one that criminalizes crack cocaine more than powder cocaine. That is a explicitly racist law. I don't even know if it's still around anymore, but that would be an example of a racist law criminalizing crack cocaine more than powder cocaine. Okay. Also, I maybe there's other laws too. I'm trying to think of another example here. Oh, uh, for example, well, okay, maybe not laws. There are some laws that are, I should say, maintain structural things. But there's also enforcement mechanisms that are structurally racist, over policing of black communities. Black people are arrested at a much higher rate for possession of drugs than white people, despite using them on the same amount. There's all these structural issues. Thank you. Redlining. Redlining was racist, except that is illegal now, but it's still kind of done informally. So, um, okay. So there are I think I was mainly thinking historically, Giannis, but like the laws are constructed in a way. Oh, like uh driver's license laws for voting was is a racist law. You know why? Because it was well known amongst there's internal documents that show that Republicans know that the group that has the least number of licenses in the country are black people. So it'll make it especially hard for them to vote. Okay. We can debate these things, but there are laws were racist, especially for a long time, and there's still some continuation of that over time. There's also structural racism, which is baked into the system, has to do with enforcement mechanisms, with the prison system, with how police enforce laws. There's economic racism. We are structurally, okay. I, Stanley. Okay, Stanley, you say you think black people can't get a driver's license. Of course they can get a driver's license. But Stanley, if you live in an area that doesn't have access to public transportation, if you have to pay for the driver's license, if you have to, it creates barriers for being able to vote. And it is well known that not everyone will be able to get over those barriers. So it prevents some black people from voting because they won't have a license, because they won't be able to get over the barriers necessary to vote. Okay. And by the way, it's not easy if you're working all the time to find time to go to an office to pay for a driver's license, amongst other things. Okay. It just isn't easy. Now, over time, that would be fixed, but like things like that, Yelnats, would be an example of this. Now, then, Stanley, well, everyone, right? So, also, there's economic racism where, for many years, uh, okay, what about people who don't have a birth? Exactly, people who don't have birth certificates. Okay. Over the years, there you go, Loisa. Okay. Over the years, for example, I view this is the way I can explain it, folks. I would explain it to my class. Imagine you're playing, um, Stanley. I understand that, but you see how like structurally that would there would be some people who wouldn't get them. Then you see what I mean. So, and by the way, there are internal Republican documents talking about this. I'm not just saying this like theoretically, but I do know what you mean. I disagree. Uh, now then, uh, okay. Another thing here too is like imagine you're playing Monopoly, right? Imagine you're playing Monopoly, and for the first 300 turns, okay, I'm exaggerating. First 20 turns, uh, you're playing against two other people. You are the only one of those 3 people playing who's not allowed to own property, not allowed to collect 200 when you go around a board. However, you are allowed to kind of get debt put on you. You are allowed to get debt put on you and things like that, but you're not allowed to own any property. For the first 20 turns, everyone else on the board is allowed to own property, charge you for owning property, for landing on their properties. You're not allowed to own any property. You're not allowed to make any money. And then suddenly you're allowed to do these things. Okay. Suddenly after 20 turns, oh, by the way, you can own property now, but it's limited. Only certain properties, you can't, there are certain things, and those 2, by the way, are also allowed to talk to each other. You're not really allowed to talk to them. Okay. So for them, for the next 20 turns, you're only allowed to own certain properties. You are able to charge less for those properties than the other people. You don't make as much money when you go around the board, okay? And then maybe after 20 turns, some of those restrictions get rolled back, maybe a little bit. And then by the end, maybe you're finally on equal footing. That is what happened to black people. They were that person on the board who wasn't allowed to own property for many, 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 many turns. And then when they finally were allowed to own the property, they, for many, many, many turns, were restricted into what they could own, where they could work, what they could do, and things like that. Then they finally were given what I guess could be called legal equality when it came to property. But, do we see, though, how there is a structural issue there? Because they're going to be way behind economically. Way behind economically. All right? So... all right. And that causes all sorts of issues. All right. Stanley Yelnats, okay? Stanley, we can debate this. Stanley says, does anyone here know a black person who can't get a driver's license? People in California who aren't even citizens can get a driver's license. No. It's not an issue, Stanley. I think you're misunderstanding. Yes, they can get driver's license. Does that mean that they will? That's the point. It automatically means some people who were previously voting won't be voting anymore because they're not going to get a driver's license. Okay? All right. So anyway, yeah, exactly, Meowsard, okay? It puts up barriers. Let's put it that way. Outer Signal, you've seen that Monopoly experiment, CR. The people who got advantages think they're just better players. Exactly, Outer Signal. So, and then a lot of folks that didn't get those advantages, people especially who are white, right? Think that, well, they're just smarter or they're better, okay? You see what I mean? All right, okay? Anyway, yeah. Okay, and by the way, if you've ever been to a DMV, there's a very long line. You have to wait sometimes hours to see anyone okay. There you go. It's also hard to get one if you don't have a car. Now you can get national face license stuff. We could debate this stuff, guys. There you go, Lamira. There you go. Okay. So, okay. Obviously there is structural racism that really can't be reversed. You see what I mean? I don't know of a place in the United States where white people have been structurally subject to racism. Now then, I think there's a lot of problems. Okay? Yeah. There are still a lot of there's a lot of problems with how we approach these topics. Okay? So, all right. Bogos Binted, the line at DMV is not segregated by race. Everyone waits in the same line. Yeah. What's your point there, Bogos? The point is that black people have fewer licenses. So they're going to be the ones that have to go get new licenses more often. Okay, let's not debate. Let's not keep debating this, right? Okay. So, all right. Regardless, Stanley, okay, guys. I just laid out to you how there are structural problems that might make it harder for people to get licenses, right? I just laid that out. Black folks have been economically deprived in this country. That means they're less likely to own a car. They're less likely to be have access to a way to get to somewhere to get a license. They are less likely to have a job that will allow them the time to get a license. Okay, there's tons of things standing in the way. Regardless of whether they can get a license or not, there is still going to be some who don't get licenses because there are barriers in the way of it. All right. Ugh. Okay. Regardless, all right. Okay, bogus, that's fair. All right. Okay. Dan, this is all right. It isn't the only form of ID, but you also have to go to get that ID somewhere too. Regardless, we'll stop. I'm going to stop talking about this for now. So, I do not know of any form of structural racism against people with white skin in the United States. Now, I think that there's a problem though, okay? I think this has been approached pretty badly by the left. And I might get pushback for this. I'm going to tell you that. I might get pushback when I say this. We have to understand that uh, some of the language that's used to talk about race pushes white people away. Okay, and I'm not all right. A lot of liberal and progressive activists will talk about how like the titles of some of the books I've seen and stuff like white fear, white people, white this, white that. Like uh it is a creating a sense of generalization about white people that whether or not it's true is demonizing a whole group of people. And uh I am not saying that that doesn't exist, but you have to understand a lot of white folks are suffering in this country. You see what I mean? And to yell at white folks and say that they are all oppressing um black folks, like if you're a poor white person living in West Virginia and you're being told that you're an oppressor, it's going to be hard to connect to that person. You see what I mean? And I will say this too. Does that mean it's not true that there isn't racial oppression? No. But I, okay, I feel like I shouldn't even talk about this. I think some of the biggest issues facing black people are access to housing, access to good paying jobs, access to universal health care, access to good education, access to all these things. Um, I think a lot of times Democrats are liberals, okay, liberals, and I don't mean socialist, I mean liberals, focus on the race issue because they don't want to talk about the economic issues because they're being bribed, right? So, like, they will say everything is about everything. We should focus on racial oppression, but no, we're not. So we have to focus on, for example, stopping racism, like telling white people to be better about that. But we're not going to say anything about improving access to health care or giving people better jobs or anything like that. You see what I mean? Um, yeah, but Lemira, like the thing here again, and I feel weird even saying this because guys, I know racism is a horrible thing, but um, I feel that a lot of times the Democrats and liberals hyper focus on parts of racism that are not the most significant parts of it, right? Like, uh, the most significant parts are economic, and then they don't want to do anything to address the economic parts of it. They just want to address really surface level, superficial things. If we really wanted to help black people, we would raise them out of poverty. We would give them universal health care. We would ensure that they have much better paying jobs. We would make sure that we would reform policing or eliminate. You see what I mean? Like, but a lot of times, like, okay, does anyone know who Roland Martin is? Um, Roland Martin is. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Stanley Yelnats. That's my point, Stanley Yelnats, is there's white people who suffer with those things too. But that's why I'm saying the focus on saying that just for black folks, we need to focus on raising everyone's economic standards. Okay, let me explain something else. There you go, body swap. So let me explain something. If anyone knows who Roland Martin is, he's a really smart guy, okay? I'm not dissing him at all. Um, he is a black capitalist, and he's always promoting being more inclusive of black folks in the business community and things like that, saying we need more black owned businesses and stuff like that. All right. Like that is basically basically adding black people to the elites that are already oppressing people. So it is giving equality to black people in terms of being oppressors. But like we need to fundamentally change the system because capitalism is destroying black people. You see what I mean? Like, okay, that doesn't, okay, I don't know. I just don't like all this stuff being talked about in the context of capitalism, which is oppressing black people too. right? We need to like fundamentally help black people instead of talking about things that aren't as, I don't know. I feel bad even saying this. There you go, Humane Society. There you go. That's the way to phrase it. And this is why I say, guys, there's interpersonal racism. Libs and Democrats focus on interpersonal racism, how people interact with each other. That's an important thing to talk about. But trust me, that won't matter as much if people are raised up economically. Now, it will still happen, but we need to focus on systemic racism, not this interpersonal stuff as much, and using language that kind of demonizes people. Okay, I feel bad even saying this, and especially saying this as a white guy. I sound like a fool, but I can promise. I mean, I'll dress like a fool. But I worked in a community. I worked in a low income community that was like 85, 90% African American. And I can promise you the vast majority of the issues they had were linked to systemic racism and economics. Yeah, there you go, Lamira. All right. Exactly. Now, I will say, though, does that mean that these problems will like fixing these things will fix racism? No. There will still be issues that go outside of capitalism. I've got to be honest with you. But if we fix the structural issues first, that'll solve some of the things that are worse for black people. Okay. And then we do also need to address the other things. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I will stop that. But my point here too is that a lot of times, well, okay, you guys get what I'm saying here. I will stop. Let's see here, guys. Haha, that should like where I'm from. All right, let me see here, guys. What we got here? We got libs and dems. He's ironically questions on just Mr. President. Okay, just updated my voter information. No longer excellent London. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Did that make sense, folks? I'm super careful when I talk about racial issues. I really am, because a lot of time. Guys, you know what? Let me show you something real fast. Because especially I'm a white guy, right? It is Victoria. It is important. I'm not saying you shouldn't speak up against. I'm not saying you shouldn't speak up against racism. I'm just saying a lot of politicians focus on like pretty surface level racist stuff. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Mira. Okay. All right. So let me talk to you guys about something. I actually pulled this up in case because I wanted to talk to you briefly about it. Has anyone here ever heard of Bacon's Rebellion? Bacon's Rebellion. All right. So, oops. Okay. Bacon's Rebellion is something that absolutely, in London, let me know when you learn about this while you're becoming a historian, okay? Very fascinating event in Virginian history. Exactly, outer signal. So guys, do you remember when like the Dems kneeled for George Floyd and then they did absolutely nothing to help black people? Exactly, Jonas. But like we can do better. We can actually, there's other forms of tribe. I've always said, folks, if you want to get rid of racism, let aliens invade the planet, because then you can otherize the aliens. Okay, I'm joking. There are other ways to get rid of racism, but okay, it's more than just economics. Okay, let me show you guys something. Bacon's Rebellion. Okay. You know Victoria. You know it, Victoria. Okay. This goes right into what I was just talking about. Bacon's Rebellion was a rebellion that happened in 1676 to 1677 in Virginia. I know, Lemire, it was disgusting. It was so disgusting. Like, it's okay. And then, guys, I got to tell you, I always feel uncomfortable talking about these things. You know the Congressional Black Caucus? I cannot stand them. They keep using the legacy of Martin Luther King and civil rights to make it appear as though they're advocating for black people when they're not. They're all bribed, they're all corrupt, just like the rest of the politicians, and then they use their blackness and their link to Martin Luther King to hide how they're not actually helping the people of their districts, and it drives me crazy. They're corrupt, okay? And now there are black folks in Congress that do actually advocate for the black community, like Cori Bush did, not Rashida Tlaib, oh God, Ilhan Omar and stuff. But like, it drives me crazy how a lot of those corpo Dems and the black congressional black caucus really. And by the way, Martin Luther King was a socialist. Ignore these things, okay? Um, okay, fair outer signal. By the way, guys, thank you for reassuring me. I hope you know, if you're a person of color, I don't want you to feel like I need your reassurance, because I don't want you know, but you have to understand, I know that these are tough issues. Okay, so this rebellion, guys, okay, this rebellion happened in Virginia. And in the early colonial America, there were enslaved Africans, okay, obviously, and there were also indentured servants who were white folks. I know, right, Jonas? Indentured servants who were white folks. And it was slightly different than being a chattel slave. Chattel slavery was for life, unless you got let free. Indentured servitudes would be enslaved for a set period of time before being released, okay? And it was normally done as because of a debt or something. And Bacon's Rebellion was this really interesting event in Virginia history where black enslaved Africans and indentured white Europeans rose up together against the owning the plantation class and the plantation owners and the elites. And they rose up, they took up arms together, they worked together, and they fought against their enslavers. Okay. All right. And what we see is that historically, at this point, there was not so much of an idea of racial oppression based off skin color as much as there was an idea of racial oppression based off religion. This is a bit more complicated, but at this point, right, that black Africans were were viewed as being right to be enslaved because they were viewed as not Christian and because they were viewed as booty taken in a war. This is weird, okay? But that's how it was justified. It was not justified on race quite yet. Okay? So, at this point, there wasn't this idea of like, they're inferior because they're black, they should be enslaved. It was only after Bacon's Rebellion that you suddenly start seeing, you suddenly start seeing, by booty, I don't mean booty as in booty as a, loot taken in war, okay? It was only after Bacon's Rebellion that which by the way was put down by the elites, that you suddenly start seeing all these laws passed in Virginia and out the South, clearly delineating that having black skin makes you inferior, makes it so that you can't be a slave, that you're a slave for life, and means that you cannot interact with white people. And those laws also included provisions that also punished white people who interacted with enslaved people. So, and also, by the way, it included provisions that prevented slave owners from hitting their white servants as opposed to beating up on their black servants. So, why do we think that worked? Why do we think they did that? There you go, Jonas. You can't let the poor whites and the black people work together against the elites. So one of the reasons the system of racial oppression based off skin color was created in Virginia was an attempt to prevent the working together of poor enslaved white people and poor and enslaved chattel black people. Okay? And over time, you see poor white people becoming more and more racist as they're separated from black folks. And then they're told by the elites, well, you shouldn't work with those black people because they're inferior. They're less intelligent. You will get punished too if you work with them. Okay. So like, you see what I mean? And does that mean that it didn't take a life on of its own over time? No, it did. And a lot of racism, a lot of the racism around today is not based on, is not because of elite domination. It's because that's how people, a lot of white people think. They're just racist. And okay, so, okay, do you see what I'm saying here? Right? So I'm mainly saying this for the white people out there, okay? Black people are our brothers and sisters in arms. And just because they, there's all this racism out there and shit, doesn't mean they aren't brothers and sisters in arms, and we need to work with them against our mutual oppressors, okay? And as long as black people are oppressed, we too will be oppressed, all right? Okay, and okay. Just something to note there, okay? If you're out there and you like don't care about it, yeah, what do you mean? Sounds like Thomas Sowell's book, Black Rednecks and White Liberals. I don't know what that means, Bogos. I don't like Thomas Sowell, by the way. He's a fool, okay? All right, so it's just an interesting thing in history, all right? This rebellion, okay? Exactly, Lamira. And does that mean that we will need to do more? We will need to address a lot of the inequalities, even if we end the economic system and fight together against the ruling class. There will still be, because of historical reasons, inequalities economically between white and black folks. We need to work to fix those too, okay? But I suspect one of the main ways to do that is to start integrating everyone together, like have shared communities together. All be on public transportation together. Start being around more black people. Start realizing their humanity, okay? Because right now we're still kept separate in a lot of ways, and that makes it easier to demonize. And that goes both ways. Obviously, it mainly goes towards black folks. Okay. Anyway, we got this. We got this. We're done. Okay, you all get my point here. So, okay. Yep, you're right, guys. Anytime I see something in history from the West involving rebellion or massacre, okay, or some other strong word, I always think about one meme where it's like the Boston Massacre had a few people die. The slight inconvenience of 1842 resulted. Yep, you're right. 11 million deaths. It is totally London. Okay, all right, guys. So, okay. Anyway. Exactly. You're right, guy. And by the way, folks, for the LGBTQ folks out there, you can thank black people for almost all parts of our culture. I'm not joking. Drag queens. That started off in people of color doing stuff in New York City in these house competitions. Okay. You can thank Marsha P. Johnson for throwing the first brick at Stonewall. Okay, we're actually not sure if she did, but that's sort of the anecdote. But she was heavily involved with it, and she was black. Okay, so like, all right, we have to understand that. All right, anyway, moving on. Black people's struggle is not separate from our struggle. Okay, all right. Oof. And at the same time, folks, we also have to understand that white folks are not all this. Well, okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, in your groove, I agree with that, okay? All right, guys, so let's go back here. All right, what else do I want to show you? Okay, it is 2:55. Would you guys like to play a game? First, what I'm going to do, folks, is, well, actually, maybe we'll react to one more thing. I got to use the restroom. I have to urinate, if you don't mind. All that talk about racial oppression and stuff, I guess, makes me want to pee. I don't know. Okay, all right, so I'll be back. Everyone ready? I'm going to be back. Okay. Bogos, nah, don't go to a BLM rally and try to make it about LGBT. They won't appreciate that. What do you mean, Bogos? I mean, it depends. It depends on the rally. And it depends on, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant, Bogos, there. There is homophobia in the black community, just like there is in the white community. All right. Mira, thank you. Since Mira has allowed me, I shall do it. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect, oh yeah. But I know I can make it work, I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, pulling heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name. It's a story about an ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
Hi, guys. All right, I'm back. Thank you for letting me urinate. I really needed to do that. Okay, so how about we do this? Let's watch one more video, and then we will do a, we'll play a game. Okay, I kind of want to play the food game. We haven't played it in a while. Okay, so let's do one more video. Let's just find one thing to react to over on Discord here. Let's see here. Ooh, there's a lot of good ones in here. Oh, God, Liz Cheney. All right, so let's see. Oh, there's a lot of good ones. Ooh, that looks good. Let's do this one. So thank you, Toy. So you think you know Wix,
but do you really?
Guys, there's a lot. We'll watch some of these other ones
When
too
you're part
at
of the
some
new
point, but this one, I'm feeling this one. 17. All right. So Victoria sent this. This is apparently an interview with a guy who who was a neo-Nazi and then kept laying it. Okay. Um, a Bright Love. What do you mean? What game? I would love a Bright Love. I love Stellaris. A Bright Love. I have Stellaris on my Discord. I mean on my Steam. I loved Stellaris. Okay. Oh yes, we'll do that one too. Outer Signal after this one. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. So what are you guys What are you guys debating in here? We're not. Let's not. New topic. Let's stop talking about hijacking protest movements or whatever. Okay. Uh. Has anyone, by the way, seen the movie Pride? I think it's a movie from the UK. Has anyone here seen that? From my UK people out there, maybe Americans have seen it too. It's about gay rights activists who sided with the unions. Okay, sided with who actually went and assisted the unions in their resistance against Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Anyway, I just you guys talking about people supporting each other's movements is made me think of that. Okay. I don't see a problem with going to support someone else's movement, right? Like, but Bogus, I think Bogus, you might be saying like going to like a Black Lives Matter protest and then supporting that movement. I honestly don't see an issue with it, right? Like, because then you're showing support, you're showing allyship. But okay. All right. He talks about a lot of things, but I wanted to show you his importance getting out there and talk. Yep, there you go. Okay, gotcha. So this guy that Victoria sent us, thank you, Victoria. That's perfect. As I said, guys, I've said this before. I think one of the best ways, and I haven't seen this, but one of the best ways I think to fight racism, to fight like these weird biases people have against each other, the tribalism, is to just be around people that look different than you and are from different countries than you, and just be around them. Put yourself out there, experience other people. It becomes very hard to dehumanize people when you've hung out with them and they're human. All right. Like, I got to tell you, when I went to college, I went to Ohio State University. It's a very diverse campus. I met people from all over the world, and like it was like the most inoculating thing in terms of racism, Islamophobia. Okay. So like literally, if you it's hard in some places where you might not have access to folks from around the world, but like I've tried to make our Discord server a place where people from all around the world are on there chatting together and like acknowledging each other's humanity. Okay. So anyway, okay. So let's watch what he has to say here about, I guess he's talking about be, not being a Nazi anymore.
And had you seen anyone leave the far-right movement, and if so, how were they treated for leaving?
Exactly. And by the way, folks, that's one of the reasons why the right wing doesn't like universities. Okay. Okay. That's one of the reasons why the right doesn't like universities. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't have any contact to my
Boladim, what are you referring to? But they might be racist against you? What do you mean? Who might be racist against you?
family just once or twice a year, just calling them for Christmas. Yeah. And just,
Yeah. So remember we said that like radicalization happens partially because of economic suffering. Okay. A lot easier to convince people to join your little far right Nazi cult or the Ku Klux Klan or whatever. If you're suffering economically, you don't have access to community and you're lonely. Okay. You can fall into they offer community. They offer a scapegoats for why you're suffering. All right. Okay.
You are called very quickly a traitor.
So I used to volunteer for an organization called Recovering from Religion, and this is one. And you basically would talk with people who are trying to leave their religious affiliation and become like start a secular life. This is like the most common thing I would hear. If I leave, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose all my friends. I'm going to lose my community. I'm going to lose knowing what to do on Sunday. I'm not going to have these contacts anymore. Okay. And this is an oversimplification, but I want you all to think about that. Are they really your friends if they're going to stop talking to you if you do what makes you happy? Right? That's sort of a cult thing. Like if they were really your friends, maybe they should accept who you are and they would allow you to leave, right? But like if you see what I mean now, that's not going to convince a lot of people. Okay. A very good. Oh, really? Okay. Excellent. A bright love. A bright love says, wow, very salient commentary, CR. I was about to bring up my experience as an apostate from the primitive Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Apostasy. Um, Bogos. I partially agree with you, Bogos. I got to tell you, that's one of my issues, Bogos, is I do partially agree with you. I do think, guys, I kind of agree with Bogos. There are a lot of lefties out there who will kind of disown you if you disagree on like a few points. Now, is that all lefties? No. I have met some though. Okay. But yeah. All right. And there's a number of reasons for this, Bogos, but yeah. Now, anyway, we could talk about this. Okay, that's ridiculous, Bogos. Okay, can we all agree, guys? Can we all agree? I've been banned from leftist streams for disagreeing on income tax. That's insane, Bogos. We have disagreements in here. You all know, guys. I'll ban people if they're like doing Nazi shit or like just using the slur. But like Bogos disagrees on with me some things. Stanley disagrees, but they're still in here, right? So okay, I understand, Bogos. That's crazy. I think my community would agree. That's a bit much, okay? Yeah, guys, do you agree? Okay, I agree that there are a lot of, yeah, I think we can all agree that there are some lefties out there that are really exclusionary to the point where it's not productive and unnecessary. Okay, and like you know, Stanley, like I disagree with Stanley a lot. Like I disagree with Bogos, but like we're not like okay, we're all human beings in here. All right. Yeah, how dare you, Alyssa? Okay. Yeah, you're right, Jonas. Okay. No problem, Stanley. Thank you for stopping by. I love having your perspective. And Stanley, you actually keep me on my toes because I don't often hear what the other side is saying or how people might disagree with these things, right? I just don't. Because I focus on so it's good to hear what the other side is saying. Yeah. Okay. But now it depends. Yeah, I know, Sir Bartholomew. Now we can we guys yeah. You fully agree with everything you hear from everyone? Ridiculously weird, Bob. Okay. Yeah, dirty commies. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry I'm getting off track of this, but yeah. We can continue here.
I think a traitor, and the aggression from the group will come.
Yeah, Bogos, you're not gonna find that in here. I keep my mods on a tight leash. I'm watching you, Sir Bartholomew. I'm watching you, okay? Only if people are like demonizing people, all right? Caviar leftist. There you go, Victoria. Okay. All right. Guys, like I've told you, I actually said this. I think I said this to Loiso at one point. I get more pushback from leftists than I do from right-wing people. I got to tell you, I do. Like getting screamed at by leftists in my chat or whatever because I don't like Stalin or whatever. Or like you see what I mean? Or, you know, anyway, but I don't want to go.
Leave me.
Yeah. That's one issue is like once you leave. By the way, another issue, by the way, when I was in the Recovering from Religion group, Mormons, okay? Mormons and also some Muslims that I would encounter, especially Mormons or Muslims who were gay, who were trying to leave their religious community. We got to be more open-minded about people who are leaving a religious community. And what I mean by that is like, let's say you were a Mormon and you leave that religious community and you're trying to reintegrate into like until you're trying to integrate into like a gay community, all right? Or like be more involved in the gay community. We can't like demonize the people, like the fact that they used to be Mormon. I know that's obvious for all of you, but like the stories I've heard of like people, because there's a lot of trauma in the gay community, like getting mad at people who have left the Mormon community and like refusing to be friends with them and stuff just because they were in it. I'm not even joking. all right, or people finding out that someone, even if they're still a practicing Muslim, but are leaving a mosque or whatever, being told that, not the gay people not wanting them to be in the community because they think, being Muslim is evil. So anyway, we have to be a bit more open-minded to people who are leaving religious communities. Anyway, just something to think about.
It's a question.
Exactly, Giselle. They didn't have a choice, right? And it's not.
That's an absolute
Yes.
superpower.
Oh my God, it's so funny to see this. Okay, former Nazi being like, I needed psychiatric help. It's a superpower to ask for help. Like these are they're not lib takes, but they're kind of like self-help takes. And this guy who kind of looks like a brutal guy, good for him though that he did that.
And he said, yeah, all right, I will work with you. I was
I get
sentenced
it,
to 3
right,
years
love.
in prison.
Yeah,
And
absolutely,
he
Stanley.
worked with me on my views and on my important to get like professional help. That was very important.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Victoria. That's super interesting. There you go, guys. Just communicate with people. Get some help if you need it. All right. Okay, guys. Let me see. How long have we been streaming for? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So, it's not easy to leave those groups in a lot of ways. Okay, guys. So let's do this. Let's play a game. I'm kind of in the mood to a game now. I think we've. I don't know. I feel like we need to. Let's shift into a game. Okay, I just need to play a game now. All right. Let's play the food game. That's what I'm in the mood to do. I don't care about what you all think. Screw all of you. Yes. Outer Signal, you said once that you had been involved in de-radicalization stuff. You should tell us about that sometime. I don't know what you did, but I think it's super interesting. Okay. What is it called? What are we doing? We're doing food guesser. All right. So for those that haven't been in the community before or haven't been here before, we sometimes will play a game if we get enough things, and it typically is something we do at the end of the stream so that we can just relax a little bit before the stream ends. All right. And what I'm going to do, folks, is that just a reminder, I am going to, if people are going to leave now, if anyone wants to leave because we're doing a game, I will be coming back on later because I got enough money for Jester After Dark. So I'll probably be coming back on between 6 and 7:30, and I'll be talking more. We'll be doing more. Okay. It'll just be, though that stream will likely only be over on Twitch. Okay. So we'll be coming back. We'll be doing a Jester After Dark between 6:30 and 7:30 time. So thank you, Dolly Boy, so much. Thank you. That'll be Eastern Standard Time, between 6:30 and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So, all right. Please come back on. So let's take a look here, guys. What is this? This is Noodles. So, guys, the game here is, you guys have got to help me figure out where this is from. I withhold all rights to yell at chat for failing me miserably. This is... Oh, my God, I totally forgot about that. Give me 1 second, guys. I do want to show that video. I totally forgot Outer Signal. Let me show this real last one, okay? That Outer Signal sent. Because I think it's very on par here for what we've been doing here. Just one more racist cartoon. Where is it? Reactions. Wait a minute. Where did it? It's over here, someone. Here it is. Okay, here's another. This is a Chinese. Sorry. Last thing here. This is a cartoon from that I wanted to show everyone. So this is racist Chinese laundry detergent ad. Oh, so this is from China. Okay, so this is a Chinese ad. Thank you, Outer Signal. God, how dumb I am. This is an ad from China, just to show you how this has been sort of normalized. Okay, let's watch this. Oh, good God, I'm terrified already. Oh no. This looks like the beginning of a porno. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Oh my God, that's That is, oh my God, I can't. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Well, oh dear God. Okay. Oh Jesus Christ. Uh, all right. That just happened. You know, I oh my God. Okay, that's pretty blatant. All right. Long live the People's Republic of China, I guess. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's finish watching this. I did not expect that to happen. Okay, I almost literally stood up out of my seat and just walked away because it was like an initial like, okay, that's it, I'm done. Okay. Let's we'll finish watching this. But again, this is what I mean where it's been more normalized in other places. Like if you did this in America today, ooh, that ain't gonna fly. Okay. Good. I'm glad it won't fly, but okay. Jesus.
改变只需一颗俏皮洗衣溶珠，俏皮全国招生热线。
Okay, well, thank you, I guess, Outer Signal, for sending that. That's pretty awful. Okay. Ooh, all right. No comments. I think you get it. Yeah, Bogos. I think you all get it, right? That's kind of. Now, I don't mean to sound like a fool, but we all know that skin color can't be washed off, right? It's melanin. It's no, okay, you know what? All right. We don't even. They literally, Jonas, are you serious? There's a Nigerian YouTuber that shows the questions he gets in China. They literally ask him if he can wash it off. I'm like, are they serious or are they just being like assholes by asking that? Like, okay. Well, that's disgusting, Jonas. All right. Thank you, Outer Signal, you monster. Okay, that was from 2010. Dear God. Okay. Yeah, oh, I know, Bogos. They do it in a lot of places. We actually watched a video about how there are people in India who bleach their skin or who try to lighten the color of their skin. They do it in Japan. Like that happens in a lot of places. It's partially because of Western imperialism and cultural norms and things like that. By the way, dark skin is beautiful. Okay. Anyway, it makes me sad that people feel the need to change their skin color. Okay. Um, all right. Try eating 5K carrots a day. You're right. Okay, guys, let's go on. We'll go back to the game now. All right. Okay, guys, where do we think this is from? Where do we think this is from? That's fair, Loiso. Okay, that's fair. That's weird, Loiso. That's so strange. Okay. All right. But like but like I said, guys, this is again, you have to understand though, China doesn't have that history of black racial oppression, of black people being oppressed stuff. And there are not many people of color in China. Okay, not many black folks in China. So like they don't have that history and stuff. So to them, it probably doesn't seem as bad because there isn't that connotation. All right. Lamira, you say South Korea. Do we have any other opinions here? Noodles, Szechuan peppercorns, chili oil, soy sauce, garlic, ginger, scallions, ground pork, peanuts, sesame seeds. You think Chinese Meowsord? You think Somalia, Bogos? You think China? Okay, you know what? We get two people saying China. We'll try China. I mean, okay, we'll see. We'll say China. China. If you're wrong, Meowsord, I'll be very angry. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, that was China. That was China. Yeah, Mira. Okay, yeah, Mira. It was China, not South Korea. God. All right. Okay, I'm just being an asshole. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for those. And by the way, Bogos, no, it wasn't Somalia. Okay, no Szechuan peppers in Somalia. All right. How dare all of you get it wrong? All right. Moving on. Next one here. Okay. Drusilla, don't give me that look. This looks good. This is rice, coconut milk, green curry paste. Just kidding. Chicken. I will yell at everyone. I will yell at everyone who gets it wrong. What do you mean Trump posting? How dare you, Loiso? Okay, rice, coconut milk, green curry paste, chicken, fish sauce, sugar, vegetable oil, garlic, lime leaves, basil, bamboo shoots, bell peppers, jasmine rice. Okay, fragrant jasmine rice stir fry with aromatic green curry paste. Okay, so Thailand. Green curry is Thailand. Thailand. I see a bunch of people saying Thailand. A Bright Love says India. A Bright Love says India. Indonesia. Okay. I am mainly seeing Thailand here. Okay. Well, yeah, that's because you have a sick fetish, Drusilla. That's what it is. I'm sorry, Drusilla. Hope you know I'm joking. Okay. Let's try Thailand. You enjoy being yelled at, Drusilla. Okay. Thailand. Okay. So who should I yell at? Who should I yell at? Where's my staff? Okay, so you were wrong, Lamira, twice, and I have a long memory, Mira. Who else is Ron here? India, A Bright Love. Ron was not India. You all need to be better at supporting the community. You all need to be better at supporting the community. This is treachery. Okay, we'll continue. Someone else probably got it wrong too. All right, moving on. Next round. No, Drusilla, don't leave. All right, here we go. Rice, liver. Ugh, okay, I'm not a fan of liver. Rice, liver, onions, butter, eggs, milk, raisins. Yeah, you better, Lemire. Okay. Raisins, sugar, salt, white pepper, allspice, breadcrumbs. This is European. This looks European. No offense to Europeans out there. You think Bogos, you think UK? So rice, liver, onions, butter, eggs, milk, raisins, sugar, salt, white pepper, allspice, breadcrumbs. Yeah, I don't know. Is Dolly Boy here? I need to yell at. Is there someone? Is Dolly Boy here? I need someone to scapegoat. Trinidad. You think Trinidad, Jonas? Have you lost your mind, Jonas? Yeah, I think so. Okay, thank you, Dolly Boy. I want to make sure. I was actually going to ask you, Dolly Boy. Does this look Scottish to me? I'm sorry, Dolly Boy. Does this look Scottish to you? Does it look like from the UK? Oh, it does. It looks like Ashkenazi. Vomitania. Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I didn't notice this. It is traditionally served with lingonberry jam. What the hell is lingonberry jam? What is Nepal Baladine? Okay. Anyone know where lingonberry jam, where's that from? Swedish or Norwegian? Okay, Drusilla. Is it Norwegian, Drusilla? Are you holding out on us, Drusilla? Okay. We will try Sweden first. You think, Nathan? I don't think so, Nathan. Thank you for. Okay, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try Sweden. Doug coming in the rear. That sounded dirty. I meant like you gave a recommendation near the end of everyone else, Doug. So it doesn't help me much. I already was going to say Sweden, Doug. Okay. So Sweden. Oh, northeast of Sweden. Okay, it borders Sweden. I won't be mad at anyone. This is pretty close. Let's try Finland. Finland. It was Finland. Okay, you know what? You have been redeemed, Mira, because you said Europe. Okay, we also got, you were wrong, Jonas. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to yell at anyone. That was pretty good at being close. Baladine, completely wrong. Nepal, I mean, come on, Baladine. Get your shit together, Baladine. Okay, and anyone else get it wrong? I can yell at whatever. UK, wrong, Bogos, not the UK. All right, let's move on. Okay, you're right though. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? Next round. This is just like cheese. Cow's milk, Renee or Renette, I don't know what that is. Salt water, annatto for coloring. This dish is a soft white. Okay. This dish is a soft white semi-hard cheese known for its stringy texture akin to mozzarella. It's traditionally made by stretching the curds in hot water and forming them into a ball. Okay, yeah, this is just like cheese, isn't it? It says it's like mozzarella, but it doesn't say it's mozzarella. With a mild, creamy taste and excellent melting properties, this dish is often used in quesadillas. Yeah, okay, I think Mithril, you're on the right track here. Do we okay? So is this just like Mexican cheese? Burrata? Maybe. Ooh, it could be. Let's try Mexico. Camel toe. Oh, that's just kind of like a camel toe. Okay, let's try this. Let's try Mexico, because I think that does look like queso blanco, which is basically just okay. There we go. Achaca cheese. I'm sorry. I'm going to embarrass myself if I try to pronounce it. And after just talking about racial issues as a white guy, I'd rather not slaughter pronouncing this. Okay. Thank you, Meow. Actually, no. Mouser didn't tell me this. I knew this already. It's Oaxaca cheese. It's Oaxaca cheese. Okay. Okay. Loiso, how dare you? Okay. Anyway, so this is clearly Mexico. Oaxaca cheese. All right. Okay. Moving on. That was lovely. Next round. Oh. Okay. So this is eggplant, peanuts. I said peanuts, by the way. Peanuts, just to emphasize so no one clips me. Sesame seeds, desiccated coconut. That sounds awful. Okay. Tamarind, jaggery. I don't know what that is. Onions, ginger, garlic. Okay. Ginger, garlic, cumin seeds, mustard seeds, curry leaves, red dried chilies, coriander powder, turmeric powder, red chili paste powder, salt, oil, cilantro. Shh, Mithril. Shh, don't say that, Mithril. Okay. Mayflower Kid's here. Hello, Mayflower Kid. You think Moroccan. You say China. You think India, Meowzord? India? I see multiple India. Multiple India. India, Lamira says. Sri Lanka. Bogos, you're just trying to be special. Bogos. All right. So you think India? Let's try India. The answer to that, Dolly effing Parton. By the way, love Dolly Parton. Great person in some ways. How does Trump consistently keep winning? The answer to that is that Trump is not consistently winning. Okay, not consistently winning. There's the answer, all right? Okay, so let's go on here. Okay, let's try it. We'll try India. I'm buying India. Is Matt Saigai here? All right. It was India. Bagar El Bengan. Okay, Bagar El Bengan. That is a correct pronunciation, 100%. Okay, 100% correct pronunciation. So it's a traditional Indian dish with roots in Hyderabadi cuisine, a region known for its rich. It's not L-U-P-O-S. What do you mean it's not L? I was right. It was India, Matt Saigai, so you're wrong. Okay. Did I say L? What do you mean? Did I say L? What do you mean? Who just yelled at me for saying L? How dare? Okay, you know what? Okay, whatever. Screw all of you. I don't care. I don't like you. Anyway, all right. A region known for its. Oh, did I say L? Oh, I see what you're saying. Whoopsie, sorry. A little slip there. The main ingredient is eggplant, bangan, which is commonly used in Indian cooking due to its versatility and to ability to absorb flavor. The word bagar refers to a tempering technique in Indian cuisine. Oh, that's cool. Huh. I'm not a big fan of eggplant unless it's fried. Mayflower Kid, I hate you so much. How did I said hyperbod, right? You know what? You guys are mean. You guys are so mean. Loiso, you're mean, okay? He's teaching. How dare you, Mayflower? You guys are mean. You're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna put you all in timeout. Don't make me. I will hide the screen chat here, okay? I will hide the screen chat. Is it? Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't really like the consistency. Moving on. So okay, guys, we did well. This was, we got gastronomical genius. Gastronomical. Don't you dare outer signal. You're not uncomfortable, outer signal. Okay. Let's try one more time because we did really well that time. I'm very proud of all of you. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, very proud of all of you. Boop. All right, let's go on. Okay, I'm ignoring you, Loiso. You know, Mayflower Kid, you can leave chat. Okay, all right, moving on. Let's play again. This is, dogfish, garlic, paprika, vinegar, oregano, salt, flour, olive oil. You think Australia? Greece, Bogos? I don't know who eats dogfish. Who eats dogfish? Yeah, you're right, Dolly Parton. That is what happened during the Holodomor. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You think Portugal? You don't know? You think it's not though, it's dogfish. It's dogfish, guys. It says it's fried dogfish. Yeah, it kind of looks like chicken nuggets. The mayo is throwing me. Is that mayo? I don't know. You think it's English, Bulladine? You think the UK? Okay, you guys, we'll go with the UK. Oh, really? Okay, we'll try this. We'll try the UK. We'll try the UK. I don't think I've ever had dogfish. It is not. We are warm though. It's to the southwest of the UK. Let's try Spain or Portugal. Let's try Spain. I don't know why it's all capital. Okay, it was Spain. Queson en adobo. Perfect pronunciation. Perfect pronunciation. Perfect pronunciation. Okay. Queson en adobo. Okay. Oh, just slides off the tongue. Queson en adobo is a traditional Spanish dish primarily associated with Andalusia, okay, a region in southern Spain. The recipe features marinated dogfish known as sand shark. Okay, that sounds good. That's good. All right. So, okay, that's cool. That kind of looks good. That looks like I could eat that. I could eat that. I don't think I've ever eaten. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever eaten dogfish before. Let's go on to the next one. Oh my God, that looks good. Though. Okay, this might be American. I don't know though. Coca-Cola, right? Now, okay. Coca-Cola, flour, baking powder, egg, salt, milk, sugar, vanilla extract, oil for frying, powdered sugar, whipped cream is optional, cherries are optional. It does look really good though. Is that my American is coming in? Okay. This dish is a unique dessert comprising deep-fried battered dough infused with a cola-flavored syrup. It is typically served in balls or small pieces. Oh, I can get behind. Never mind. I don't want to say that. Okay, I'll wait till the after dark. Covered in powdered sugar and occasionally drizzled with more cola syrup or topped with whipped cream. The dessert combines the sweetness and carbonation-inspired flavor of cola with the crispy texture of fried dough, creating a popular fairground treat. Oh, I guess got to be American. Victoria, I think this does look good. Now, admittedly, yeah, you know what? It is diabetes in a cup. Please, come live in America. Then tell me you don't want to cut off some years of your life, okay? Because trust me, perfectly fine with getting diabetes if it cuts a few years off my life living here, okay? All right. Jesus. Okay, let's try this. USA. It's like when you go to a fair in America and you get like a fried Twinkie. All right. Okay, yeah. As always, they always choose the worst American food. The worst American food because this game is racist against Americans, okay? Me too, Bright Love. I'd totally risk a few years off my life. Okay. Also, do we remember how like they once showed us a lobster roll, which is actually good American food, and then it ended up being a McLobster from McDonald's because they hate Americans, okay? These people are horrible and they hate Americans, and I feel oppressed. I am oppressed as an American. No, okay. Druzilla, I did not say fried twink. I said fried Twinkie. God, Druzilla, you're just such a degenerate. You know that? I did not say fried twink, okay? Okay. Next, all right? Mithril, obviously Cheez-Its. I'm joking, Mithril. I'm joking, okay? I'm joking. All right. Let's take a look here. I would say, yeah, Jonas, yeah, okay. You're all biased. You all hate America, okay? You all hate America. You're all a bunch of racist anti-Americans. Anyway. All right. This is plantains, pork, lard, salt. Okay. Pork, lard, salt, chicharron, garlic, onion, olive oil, pepper, lemon juice, cilantro, butter, fried egg. Ooh. Ooh. This sounds kind of good, don't it? I kind of like look at this with pork. So this could be I think this is somewhere in Latin America or really I don't know. I feel like this could be. You know what? I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to ignore all of you and I'm going to go with my heart. To me, it's giving Colombia. It's giving Colombia to me. Let's try Colombia. Colombia has a lot of cuisine like this. All right. Oh, it borders Colombia. Hey, look at this. Look at this. This is why you watch me, folks. I'm really funny. I'm cute, and I know my food. Okay. What was I going to say here? So we get borders Colombia. We can try Peru. Peru. It's one of those countries that borders Colombia. Yep, Peru. Hey, and Ecuador. Everyone should thank me for that. I think I have made a major contribution to this community, and I did it without your help. All of you lied to me. Mithril said Jamaica. All right. Outer Signal said Haiti. Are you crazy? Grenada. Are you crazy? All right. Outer Signal, how dare you? Okay, how dare you, Outer Signal? I don't need that from you. Okay, I need a moment of victory. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone ready? Let's go. Mithril, I don't need it from you either, Mithril. I don't need it from you. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next round here. Oh. Chicken, egg broth, onions, garlic, flour, butter, cream cheese, eggs, breadcrumbs, oil, salt, pepper, parsley, green onions, hot sauce, lime juice. I don't know where this is from. It says it's partially everything, Druzilla, everything. What do we think? I don't know where this is from. It looks good, though. Chicken broth, onions, garlic, flour, butter, cream, cheese, eggs, breadcrumbs, oil, salt, pepper, parsley, green onions, hot sauce, lime juice. Oh, okay, Jonas. So this is Mexico? Is that where it's from, Mexico? Is it from Mexico then, Jonas? I honestly thought, okay, where did Jonas say it was from? Brazil, I'm sorry. No, I knew that, Brazil. Okay, so Brazil. We'll try Brazil. Is Victoria here to verify? We'll try Brazil. I thought this was a Scotch egg, and I thought Dolly Boy was going to say it was a Scotch egg, but I guess it's not a Scotch egg because there's no, sausage in it or whatever. It is Brazil. Okay, Jonas, despite all your many, many failures in these streams, I appreciate you getting this one right. Okay. The only reason I said that, by the way, Loiso, I didn't. You know what, Loiso, I don't need that from you. I don't need that from you. That's true. Okay. I only said that, Jonas, because of your rude comment earlier. You made a rude comment. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. You said something rude to me. Whatever. I have a long memory. Okay. All right. So, okay. No. Hey. You, who said that? Who said that? Jonas. Yeah, Jonas. Who was it that said that? Okay, Jonas, I thought Jonas had said Mexico, Loiso, and then I had to go back up and see that he saw Brazil. It was not me messing up the two countries, okay? It was not me mixing them up, all right? I literally thought he said Mexico. All right. Outer Signal, do you remember when I forgot to list Nigeria on that map? You know what? I shouldn't be reminding you of this. What am I doing to myself? Okay, let's go on. Next round. This is flour, water, salt, ghee, butter, milk, sugar, eggs, honey, cheese, meat, cream, nuts, dried fruits. Ooh, this looks good. This is delicious looking. So it could be a whole bunch of things. Yeah, so this is just like this is from the UK, isn't it? Oh, no, it isn't. I was wrong. India? Okay, I thought it was. Sir Bartholomew, you're all traitors. You're all traitors. Okay. You think India? India? I think India too. I think very India. Let's look at some other pictures. No, it could also, I don't know, maybe it is India. No. Yeah, I'm going to racially profile a bit. Doesn't this look more like Morocco? Or am I wrong? I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be racially profiling. I say, okay, do Morocco, but like, I don't know. I see a lot. You know, I'm going to try India. It's Morocco. Okay, I will believe Jonas. Jonas was right last time. Oh, the language is on the paper? What paper? There's no paper. What are you talking about? You lost your goddamn mind, Meowzord? What paper? Okay. Okay, you think India? Okay, we'll try. Okay, Mayflower Kid, what was your answer? Close up of the table? I can't see that close to the table, I'm sorry to say. I feel like I'm stalking her by getting this close to her. All right. Okay, you know what? We'll do Morocco. Okay, I believe Jonas. Jonas has only let me down most of the time. So maybe this time will be one of the few times he doesn't. Morocco. Ugh, Jonas. Ugh. Crash and burn there, Jonas. My rage grows bigger. All right. You know what, Jonas? How dare you? Okay. That's true, Jonas. Okay. Here we have, this is southeast of the United States. No. North. Okay, we'll try India. I mean, not the United States, of Morocco. Well, so right now it's Morocco. God knows what Trump will do with it. Let's try India. Okay, fine. We'll do India. We'll do India. Nope, not India. Okay, for all you people out there screaming about India, okay, not India, right? God, you sound like British imperialists. Let's take India. It's India. We want India. Okay, like, calm down. All right. Now, it is not Sri Lanka. It does say, guys, that it is northwest of India. It cannot be Pakistan, Matt Saigai. It can't be Pakistan. All right? Because then it would be bordering it. So maybe, what is it then? Is it Afghanistan? Okay. No, but it says it is northwest of India. I'm sorry, Mithril, okay? Oh, wow, look at that language. Yeah, oh, I see it. Okay, there's what is that language, guys? What is this language? Oh, I have a treat for you. I will fix that real fast. Let me put in I'll let you all kind of figure out what that language is, and then I will come back. I'm just going to quickly get the link here. If anyone, please join our Discord if you haven't already. There's a great growing community on there, and you can add things to recommend. Okay, so we'll do that. Does that help? Afghanistan? Let's try Afghanistan. I don't know if it is Afghanistan. Egyptian? Nope. Oh my God. We're going to fail on this one, and I'm going to blame all of you for it. Okay. Okay, this name, I think, is it like Egypt? You think Egypt? Okay, we'll try Egypt. I don't think it is Egypt, but I don't think it is because I feel like that. Okay, we'll try Egypt. It might be Egypt. If it is Egypt, I'll be very angry just because Matt Saigai said it and because Meowzord said it. Okay. I apologize for blindly lashing out at Meowzord and Matt Saigai. I admit defeat, and I want to apologize. That's all. I just want to apologize for assuming what I would normally assume correctly, which is that you were wrong. But okay, everything is okay. Everything is fine. I will point out, though, that originally all of you said Great, Jonas. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for narrowing it down to one of the 4 cardinal directions. Great job. Okay. So, like, I will say, thank you, Jonas. Okay. Great contribution, Jonas. I will say the correct answer, I have a treat for you, was in fact Egypt. Okay. But you all got it wrong first. You all got it wrong first. Okay. Now, who, by the way, did the link work there? I have a treat for you. Okay. You know, Matt Guy, you must have been looking in the mirror when you said that. Okay. All right. Final score. We still got gastronomical genius. I forgive all of you. Boop, 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 boop. I forgive all of you. I forgive all of you. Boop. Okay. You are forgiven. You know, I forgive you. All right. I forgive you for your failures because we still got gastronomical genius. All right. My children, I forgive you. Okay. Oh my God. I love the power trip I get from doing live streaming. Isn't it great? So, all right. Yay for boops. Thank you, Body Swap. Thank you, Body Swap. Body Swap, please join our streams more often. I love having you around. I actually like you, Body Swap, which is weird because most of the people in here I could do without. Okay. I could do without. Mayflower Kid, you're getting a pardon anyway. Well, anyway, okay. I know you don't, Drizella. You don't want it anyway. Okay. Your facts being put in a room with no ventilation. Matt Guy, I like the smell of my farts. Does anyone else like the smell of their own farts? I think it's like a biological thing. Some people just like the smell of their own farts. So honestly, it probably wouldn't be that bad if I was locked in the room with my own farts. I don't think that's a big problem. You know, I don't think that's a big problem. You know, why not? Why not like your own farts? You know, you got to live with them anyway. I don't see a big issue with it. Okay. Like, I like, come on, it's my own farts. You got to get used to them, right? Might as well start liking them. That's my whole theory on farts. Anyway, moving on. You know, I'm always like, guys, oh, yeah. Oh, bring it up. I'm joking, you lunatics. I'm joking, okay? I'm joking. I just wanted to make you all sick, okay? Loiso, don't you dare. Okay. Oh, Body Swap. I love you very much. I will, I'm glad you're trying to come out of your bubble. Really, great job. Okay. This is a good, safe environment to do that, even though right now I'm targeting you. I'm sorry, Body Swap, but good job, Body Swap. Glad to hear you here. Okay. Meowsword, how dare you? Okay, that's gross. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I know. You know what? Me too, Jonas, but Meowsword, you know, he's not really a big threat. Okay, not really a big threat to me and my big muscles. I can beat back Meowsword. Okay, so let's continue. Let's do it one more time. Okay, one more time, because Loiso asked it. All right, these look delicious, by the way. Okay, these look delicious, by the way. Outer Signal, stop being uncomfortable. Okay, stop being uncomfortable. Right. All right. So bread, egg, milk, sugar, olive oil, cinnamon. Matt Guy, you're theorizing about that. You don't know you don't know anything, Matt Guy. You don't know anything about that. Outer Signal, are you insane, Outer Signal? You're watching Nick Fuentes. You know what? I don't even want you here anymore, Outer Signal. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm calm. We say French toast. Yeah, we think it's France. Is that where it's from? France? We'll try France. This, by the way, looks very French in the background here. We'll try France. And it literally says Café d'Orient right here. So we'll try France. Oh, no. We'll try Spain. It borders France, but it's border. Okay, it was Spain. Pica tostas. Pica tostas are a type of fried bread commonly found in Spanish cuisine. They are traditionally associated with regions like Madrid and Castilla-La Mancha. This dish is made by cutting stale or day-old bread into thick slices or cubes. The bread pieces are then soaked in milk briefly, drained, and fried in olive oil until golden crispy. Oh. Huh. Okay, that's cute. All right, this looks good. Oh my God. Okay. Bondiola, sandwich bun, chimichurri. Okay. mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, mustard, pickles, onion, cheese, avocado, hot sauce. This looks delicious, though. I do think Mexico. I do think Argentina. It does kind of look. You know what? I think you may be right about being Argentina. America, no. Tex-Mex, it could be. I don't know. I kind of want to go with Mexico. Okay, I'm going to try Mexico. I'm going to ignore everyone. I'm going to do Mexico. Yeah. Let's say there's not really, they don't have chimichurri. Okay, that's fair. We'll try Argentina. Okay, we will try Argentina. Me, Argentina. Okay, you know what? It was Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. Who originally said Argentina? So I can kiss you. I have a treat for you. Mwah. I give you a kiss. You might want to go get tested now. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. That makes sense that he killed her if he had a okay, he had a prior bias apparently. Okay. Okay, that looks good. I kind of want to try that. All right. So there you go. I have a treat for you. This looks delicious. I think we've seen this before. Lamb or beef, onion, tomato. Lamb or beef, onion, tomato, green pepper, garlic, olive oil, salt, black pepper, red pepper flakes, sumac, and parsley. It's onion, right? Or I'm sorry. This looks like a rack. You think it's a rack? Lamb or beef, onion. I don't know. This kind of looks to me like Greek or something. I'm going to try turkey. I'm going to try turkey. I don't care what all of you say. I'm going to try turkey. You know what, guys? Hey, Outer Signal, do you remember when you're like, oh, I'm so glad he didn't get it on the first try. He would have been insufferable. Well, you haven't seen anything yet, Outer Signal. I just got it on the first try. Guys, this is why we as a community worship me like a god on earth, okay? This is why. Because without me, we would have gotten, it probably would have taken a lot more time, really. Really, I deserve, I deserve all the praise in the world. Yeah, Dolly Boy. Okay, this is why, guys. This is why you watch me. Okay, this is why you watch Casual Revolt, is because of things like this. All right, without me, there's nothing. Okay, moving on. This is potatoes, cabbage, butter, milk, scallions, salt, pepper, parsley, leek, kale. We've never seen this before. Bacon, ham, and onions. Lamira, this is why I like having you around. Everyone needs to be more like Lamira. Lamira, thank you. Thank you for your worship. I appreciate it. Okay. Yes, I'm doing numbers like no one has ever seen before. People said it wasn't even possible, the numbers I'm doing. I'm doing the biggest numbers, I have a treat for you, dear God. I swear to my, you may be doing well. I have a treat for you today, but that's not going to help you if you're mean. Okay. All right. Mayflower Kid. No. Okay. All right. Lamira's my new favorite. Body Swap also my new favorite. My two new favorite, I officially announced my two new favorites in chat are Body Swap and Lamira. They're my two new favorites. Okay. Bye, Matt Sai Guy. All right. Moving on. So what do we think this is from? This is a weird combination. Potatoes, cabbage, butter, milk, scallions, salt, pepper, parsley, leek, kale, cream. What do we think? Polish? Polish? We'll try Polish. Polish. I just put Polish instead of Poland. It was not. It was not. It was not. Moldovan. So it says that it's southwest of, west northwest of Poland. West northwest of Poland. And Ireland? But it's warm. So we're kind of close. I think Denmark. I honestly think it might be Denmark. Yeah. You think Ireland, I have a treat for you? I don't know. I have a treat for you. I'm going to try Denmark, and then we'll see if that works. It might not be Denmark. Okay, Denmark. No, southwest of Denmark. But it can't be Germany. Maybe it is Ireland, because it does say it could be northwest too. Okay, we'll try Ireland. We'll try Ireland. I'll go with I have a treat for you, even though I'm mad at I have a treat for you. So I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize to I have a treat for you. And yeah, I do hate you, I have a bright love. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you say something before I have a bright love? I probably ignored it, I have a bright love, because who cares about what you say, I have a bright love? You know I'm joking. You know I'm joking. I have a bright love. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be mean to you. All right. So okay, don't have abandonment issues, I have a bright love. I will never abandon you, I have a bright love. Okay. So, all right, I would like to apologize to I have a treat for you. And anyone else who said Ireland, okay? I just want to say I apologize for that. Okay. I'm tempted to make a joke about the Troubles to insult Irish people, but that would probably be too soon, and I'm not going to do it. But it would be a funny joke in my head. Okay, can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? I don't know why it disappeared briefly. It disappeared briefly. My face disappeared. I'm back. Okay. Everyone hear me again? Okay, so that's it. We didn't get gastronomical genius. We did not get gastronomical genius. I'm very upset with all of you. You failed me. You failed me, except for Body Swap and Mira, who are my favorites. Okay, but now we're back. Okay. The Irish shut that joke down quick, right, Doll? Yeah, they did, all right? It's just YouTube censoring your malignant narcissism. How dare you, Mayflower Kid? There you go. Summary executions will continue until the score improves. Exactly. All right, you guys, I'm going to put my face up. So, guys, I will be coming back on later. I will be coming back on between 6:30 and 7:30. All right, 6:30 and 7:30. Sometime between then, I'll stream for a while. We'll do an After Dark stream. I might even come on at 6. So sometime, just the small period of time between 6 and 7:30 will be sometimes when I come on. Okay, come to the stream. All right. Apps and you all. Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, Dolly Boy, you're right. The Eastern Standard Time. Okay, between 6:30 and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please join me, guys. I talk about things on After Dark that I can't normally talk about on YouTube. So please join our community, and you'll be notified of when I go live on Twitch. If anyone doesn't know, I am Casual Revolt 1 on Twitch. So just search me up if you want to find my channel and subscribe or watch me or whatever it may be. We tend to do more fun stuff in the After Dark. Sometimes I may be drinking something, which I probably will tonight because I'm lonely. So I need to drink something. I'm lonely because, someone in my Aaron just left. So I might need to drink something to cope, an unhealthy coping mechanism. And we'll listen to some music. We'll talk about some things. It'll be fun. You wish, Matt Saigai, you wish I did a strip tease After Dark. Okay. And then, so we'll do an After Dark stream because we got enough money. Okay. I would love that at Bright Love. I would love to play Star Wars with you. All right, you guys. Everyone ready? You all know what I'm about to say. Okay. There you go. Okay. You all know what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. We should not let people be slaughtered indiscriminately and dehumanized in such a way, especially, children, okay? Also, free Ukraine, free Sudan, protect Denmark, and viva Venezuela, all right? Second of all, never stop resisting. Don't blindly obey authority figures. Don't believe everything you see online. That includes when you watch me. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo. I'm only human. I make mistakes. Everyone online is only human. They make mistakes. Okay? So don't always trust everything you hear online. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo. Again, including when you watch me, folks. Okay? Thirdly, we're living in a fascist moment in this country. Not only in this country, but in other countries around the world. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. because they're suffering economically and the political system is not doing anything for them. To fix that problem, we need major reforms and possibly a revolution. We just do. We need a revolution. We need to really change things, how things work here. We need to resist this regime at all. We need to resist this regime. Okay, so please resist this regime. Do what you can. Fight back peacefully, of course. I would never suggest violence. We need to resist. It's not only going to destroy us, what the regime is doing, it's going to destroy the world. Okay, literally, I've told you this before. You all know this. We need to do something, folks. For the Americans out there, let's unleash the revolutionary heritage, shall we? Okay. On the wall behind me is a sword that's been passed down in my family for many years. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. It is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? To remind all of you that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today, including putting their lives on the line and acting very bravely, even in the civil rights movement, very bravely. Women's rights, very bravely. Okay, we cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. It's driving me crazy as a historian to see so many people that died and made sacrifices and those things being put to waste. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, and always, 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 always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, I will see you later for Jester After Dark. Between 6 and 7:30 is when we'll start. Between 6 and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Keep an eye out for that. Join the Discord. I'll see you all then. Love you all very much. I hope you know I love you, even if I'm yelling at you all the time. Okay, we're kind of in an abusive relationship.